Good afternoon from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Joe Honk. The major news just now developing and coming down just about 15 minutes ago is that the Tennessee Titans have traded all-pro defensive back Kevin Byard to the Philadelphia Eagles. In return, the Titans are going to get a 2024 5th and 6th rounder, as well as safety Terrell Edmunds. Edmunds has started 2 games for the Eagles so far this season, but he also spent the last 5 years in Pittsburgh as a Steeler. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans, as well as home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Yo, what up, Nashville? 3HL 104.5 The Zone. Brady Doherty with you on a beautiful day in the Music City. It's not a beautiful day for a lot of people around here that love the Titans and love certain players.
Woo!
One of the fan favorites traded. Dawn Davenport is here. She has not been traded.
What up, Babsy?
I'm still here.
That's bunk. That's bunk.
That's bunk.
I'll tell you this, Babsy. If Kevin Byard can be traded,
Derrick Henry's next.
I'm not
Sorry,
saying
Titans fans.
I'm not saying he is,
I am.
but you are. Okay. We'll get into it. Slay Dog definitely
What
could
up,
be
baby?
open for discussion,
I'm in
right?
the building. I'm in the building.
What up, Slay?
What
Nashville,
up?
Tennessee at 6'8" at power forward, Ron Slay.
Y'all better buckle up, because this car ain't got no roof.
Slay Dog,
Let's
what's
go.
up?
What up, baby?
How's your trip to Tuscaloosa? You
My
want to get
trip
that?
was-
You want to get that out of the way now?
It was actually straight. You know what I mean? Like, I will say, just real quick before we jump all the way into Titans things, I am a believer in Neyland Stadium, and I believe in Neyland resetting the bar. I'm gonna be honest. The only place that I can say venue-wise that I've been that was deafening was Neyland. I'm gonna be honest. Basketball, Arkansas, and Auburn. Like, there are no other places. Thompson
So-
Bowling can't even hold a match to Auburn and Arkansas.
People talk
So
about.
they don't think I'm biased. That's why I'm throwing that out there.
Right.
Okay.
People talk to me about Swamp at night, and no, Swamp at night, Death Valley at night,
Yeah.
LSU at night, which is an
can
awesome
believe that.
venue. But the Swamp in the mid '90s, I went there
Yeah.
twice. There's no comparison.
Yeah.
Now Neyland Stadium now, because
What
of
you like? What you saying?
I'm saying, go ahead.
because of I think because of the long layoff
Yeah.
for success at
Yeah.
Tennessee, like lately,
Yeah.
that's been the spot.
Well, it's been ready, and I think all the players and fans know it as well, because even the fans were saying, the Alabama fans, hey, it's not really loud here, y'all. I was like, no, it's beautiful though.
No,
It's
because
beautiful, it's not,
they've
though.
won so much.
Yeah, and
so.
that's cool. That's cool. But I will say it did get loud when they played the what's the name of the song? Dixieland Delight.
Sweet Home
oh my
Alabama.
God, no, Dixieland Delight. They went bananas off it.
Yeah, because
It means something.
Tennessee's trying to steal that from
Don't
us.
nobody never tell me it don't mean nothing. It means something to them fans and the players and the coaches. So
One of
there
their
it is.
players after the game, I forget which one, I've got it written down somewhere, said it was personal.
Yep.
It was
It was
personal.
It was. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
So 20-7 at halftime, and then 27 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
It reminded me of Tennessee, Florida in 1990 when Tennessee led 7-3,
Yeah.
and then won 45-7.
Well,
Same type thing.
I can see it.
Kevin Byard traded.
Thank you.
What is your response to that?
Babs, you want in?
I have lots of responses to it.
Let me
Give
say
us some.
this. Lines are currently open. This is probably the only time all day. So if you want to jump in now. 615-737-1045. Your reaction. A 5th and 6th rounder and a safety named Terrell Edmunds, who was a former first-round pick. Started every game for the Steelers. Not so much this year. But did have 9 tackles yesterday
That's good.
against the Dolphins in a win.
Ramone Foster, by the way, was with the Steelers forever, knows
Mm-hmm.
him. He's going to join us at 5:00, so he
will.
can speak to the player part of this trade.
So many questions involved around this. Like, number one, what do you feel based on this? Because Kevin Byard he's the mayor of Murfreesboro. Like, this is the guy. He said he wanted to retire a Titan.
Is he or is he still the mayor?
Oh, he is.
Okay.
Do you remember last week when
But this
some
is hard.
fans
I know
called
this is
in
hard.
and said, oh, well, we love Kevin Byard so much we'd be okay with it because if he could go somewhere and win a Super Bowl, right?
Kind of like
Let's see if that holds true
What's
today.
that guy?
AJ Brown?
No, punter.
Brett Kern.
Brett Kern, kind of
Yep.
like Kern.
Yep.
My bad, Kern. I forgot about you. My fault.
Yeah.
That fast.
Man, life comes at you fast.
It does.
So
It does.
a couple of I'm going to tell you what I initially thought, and then now that I've kind of backed off the ledge.
Okay.
My initial thought is I think where a lot of Titans fans line up that, okay, Titans are done this season. And initially I thought, okay, bye week. They know way more about Ryan Tannehill's injury than we do.
Mm-hmm.
What do they know about it maybe that we don't? Is he done for the year?
That's a great question.
And this is like I said, this is all my initial off the cuff thought. Okay, Tannehill done for the year. They just had a full week, not a full week, but a bye week with Malik Willis and Will Levis, and maybe saw, okay, with this offensive line that we have right now in place, neither one of these quarterbacks are going to be able to get it done this year if you don't have Ryan Tannehill. That maybe Will Levis, we know Malik Willis isn't ready because we saw it. Maybe Will Levis not going to be ready either. Let's clear some of our books money-wise.
Mm-hmm.
Who on this roster is their value? Who can we trade, get more draft picks because they came in with just 8 for next season, right?
Right.
Or for next draft.
No, it came in with 6.
I'm sorry, came in with 6.
Yep.
Now they have 8. That gives, and 3 of those 6 were 7th rounders.
Yep.
So then they kind of fixed that part at least a little bit in the draft. And if you look at Kevin Byard's money,
Mm-hmm.
cap hit for 2024, $19.6 million.
Yeah.
$19.6 million. That's a lot to clear off your books, right?
Yep.
And
Right. That's
so
ultimately that's why in the
ultimately
offseason
that's it.
we were talking about Kevin Byard as being one of the guys that could be dealt. Also,
Yep.
Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is still out there.
And
now
he's the other
is this
one.
where you're going?
Mm-hmm.
This trade today shows you that anything can happen with that roster right now.
Yep. And that's exactly what
That's
I
the
said.
next
That
obvious.
if they're
I
okay
think,
with
peg.
trading Kevin Byard, then they're a-okay with Derrick Henry as well. And a part of my thought process in take 2 was like Kevin Byard's Kevin Byard, right? And he is going to light it. Fans, get ready for it because what Philly has up front, he's going to light it up for the Eagles. He's going to be a star because he's going to be able to do what he does. And he hasn't been able to do that here because A, the defense is on the field all the freaking time because the offense is garbage. And B, because the guys up front in Philly can do what they have to do to allow Kevin Byard to be Kevin Byard. But if you look at this season, and this is probably not the fairest thing for me to say, but Kevin Byard's been quiet.
Yep.
Like we haven't seen the Kevin
Because
Byard
of what
that
you just
we
said, too, though.
know. Right. It's not necessarily because Kevin Byard's taken a step back,
Right.
maybe, but he's also going to be 31 years old next year. 31. He's 30 now. He's also going to be older. And why don't you get the value now when you can? When I think as a franchise, you thought in the beginning that you had fixed this offensive line enough to be a contender this year. And now you've learned that you didn't, that it backfired, that it didn't work. And now with Tannehill hurt and you know what you have in your backup quarterbacks, 2 guys that maybe aren't quite ready, then you better clear your books and get ready and look ahead. Is that crazy for me to say?
No, Slay?
I understand the trade. I understand. Like Babsy hit it all. Like I think she's spot on with it. My problem is I just don't understand the value. Like how do you rate or find out the value range of a player? Like you know what I'm saying?
I know usually it's they have a formula based on draft picks, but when you start inserting players, like Terrell Edmunds will immediately step in.
That's a player. That's
he'll
player
start
right now.
I mean, he'll replace Kevin Byard, and then they get 2 draft picks out of that. So that's what they're looking at. My question is, what else is coming down the pike? And you know, to Don's point, you start looking at like, why did this decision happen now?
Right.
And so, you know, you asked the question: is Ryan Tannehill out for the year? Even if they didn't think that, I still think that this trade
gonna be
makes
a
some
move made.
sense. Like it's not it's not something that any one of us wanted to happen because we love the guy. But, like, ultimately, like, sports is a meritocracy, and it's about business. And it's about big picture, and you've got a new GM. And they were light in draft picks. So my guess is they will continue to make moves. And will that be Derrick Henry?
Yes, because I also think, and I go back to what Cosell said last week, and I get that it's Cosell and it's one opinion, but Slay asked him, what do you see in Derrick Henry? And he said, I think that he's lost a step. Even on the breakaway runs that you've seen from Derrick Henry this year, he said, you know, I think that he's not the same as he was, which, whatever, that's one opinion. But I think that this Titans team is looking at their roster. I think Rand Carthon is looking at it and saying, all right, listen, we are looking towards the future. We've got to get younger and make sure that this is built right for big runs in the future.
Yeah. I think
and are you okay with that?
I'm fine with it because I'm walking into this situation. I'm in a trust in Rand mode. You know what I'm saying? Like, if whatever you believe, and as long with him, Vrabel as well. Like, you know what you got. You've seen what you've seen. You've been mum's the word for a reason, and the reason is because you're not satisfied. You come out of the bye at 2-4. Like, that's not okay. We talked about that before the season started. Like, if you come out 3-3, you're in a great spot. You come out 1-5 or 2-4, there's questions being raised, and there's probably parts going to be moved because things are not holding up to where you thought they would be as far as competing. Now, luckily, the AFC South just stinks altogether, and people are taking care of each other where you still have an opportunity. If you wanted to fight for something, you got something to fight for. But on the other hand, we talked about, is this a rebuild? I think our questions are being answered.
Yeah.
Ain't no ifs, ands, but you move pieces like this. These are franchise pieces.
Listen, I think it's fair that Rand Carthon wanted to see how the beginning of the season would play out.
That's fair for the players as well.
And did what he had to do, right, in the offseason to try and make it work.
But now I think it also makes sense to be sellers. And the next time that they talk publicly, they're going to have to defend this. And what I mean by defend this is to try to sell the point that they are not sellers.
Yeah.
You have to try to sell that or you're going to lose the fan base for a season. And you're going to lose fans in attendance and all of those things. And you got a big game coming up this weekend against a former coach on the staff, and their team is now in first place, and it's the throwback Oilers uniforms and all that stuff, and you've dealt one of the most beloved players in Titan history.
And now on the back end of that,
and potential Hall of Famer.
And the second one could be another potential Hall of Famer.
Yep.
If that were to happen, walking as a fan, I'm talking as a fan. If I'm a fan and that were to happen before Sunday, I'm telling y'all right now, it would be difficult for me as a fan to go to the stadium if King Henry were next on the chopping block. Depending on what came back in return. Like a fifth won't suffice for me. At least wait. I know it's a deadline and everything, and you got to do what you got to do. And I just said we trust in Rand. I'm going because I'm supporting the team. I'm just saying it would be difficult to muster up the energy to put on my jersey and be like, come on, Titan. I would probably go there and sit and watch the game.
All right, your reaction. Kevin Byard traded today. 3HL 1045 The Zone.
Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. You won't want to trade them, I promise. And you might be surprised to learn how affordable replacement windows are from Pella Windows and Doors. Here's what I'm going to tell you I know about Pella. Well, first of all, I replaced my windows and doors with Pella, so I know all about them. I also know this is a family-oriented, family-first company, and they mean it. Pella has been around since 1925, 98 years old this year, and so you know that you can trust the product. And Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville make sure that they can back up all their work with a warranty, 10-year labor warranty, which is leading in the industry from the installation to the service after installation. I know they do a phenomenal job, and they make sure that they have the staff in place to be able to support you, the customer, and do that job. Right now, go check out their deal. Tell them Dawn sent you. You get 50% off qualifying installs and no money down, no interest, no payments for 12 months. You want to find out about it? Go to their website, PellaNashville.com.
What's happening, good people? Ron Slay here, man. If you want something that you want to get for someone that you just get traded and you bring in a friend, a relative, or anything, you get a new Kevin Byard or the old Kevin Byard's out. Make it make sense. Brentwood Jewelry can help you. They can get your engagement. They can get you watches to cheer you all up, man. Fix old watches, whatever it may be. 7012 Church Street East, located in the heart of Brentwood, just off Franklin Road. Exceptional style, exceptional deals every single day for over 50 years. Open Tuesday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Saturdays 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And always a phone call away. I got to hit them up, man. And if you don't want to go in, you don't feel comfortable, you think you may be pressured, which won't happen, you can go to BrentwoodJewelry.com and check out their entire inventory and see exactly what you're looking for. I'm going to be honest, y'all, I'm in the mood for some earrings, so and for myself. Just throwing that out there. I want my earrings back. I got to get over there, man. I'm going to slide on in there, get me some exceptional style with exceptional deals. I'm just saying, Babs, you looking at me laughing. I need my earrings. That's what I like.
You're crazy.
Brentwood Jewelry, they're not crazy. Get in there, man, and find out what all the talk is about.
Play fake, Kaiser, deep drop. Fires down the middle, pass too high and intercepted. It's Byard. He's got the 20. He's got the 25. He's got the 30. He's got the 35 and then the 36. The young man just air-mailed that one to the mayor of Murfreesboro, Kevin Byard, his second pick of the year. Titans with a 6-man front. Kaiser under center. Play fake, rolling to the right. Being chased by Morgan, firing downfield. Pass intercepted. Picked off at the 40. To the 35. Rambling to the 30, it's Byard again. Kessler with pressure coming up the middle. Fires deep downfield. Byard with another interception at the 10, to the 15, to the 20, to the 25, to the 30, to the 35, to the 40. 3 interceptions on the day from Kevin Byard.
Kevin Byard traded to the Philadelphia Eagles. Does it hurt more that it's the Eagles? I mean, good for KB. He's got a shot at a Super Bowl ring.
They get an opportunity.
He's about to get a Super Bowl.
My guess is he'll play in it. Well, I don't know. I mean, San Francisco's the best team, theoretically, week in and week out. I know they stumbled last week, but, I mean, it's those two, though, right, in the NFC? Pretty clear.
I just think with the way that defense plays up front, they are able to thrive because they are able to get 4 guys or 5 guys after the quarterback in the NFL. Like, that's different. You see what it did with Darius Slay. Like, they didn't think he was washed.
Got the
or
rookie
anything,
from Georgia.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, he being able to roam on the back end. Then the safety, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, just got hurt for Philadelphia Eagles. So this feels a void.
They did. Reed Blankenship.
Yeah, so this feels a void right there immediately.
We actually talked about this trade last week.
We did. Yep.
We talked about this trade last week, Kevin Byard to the Eagles. Now, the price was a little different, but it's because a player was worked in.
That's the only part it's hard for me to understand the value that's on it.
We talked about this last week because Reed Blankenship is injured, and they're looking for a safety. Well, they got one.
So I know that a lot of people have an issue with what they got for Kevin Byard, but you also have to remember that the other piece of it is how and why you do it to clear your books. The other one is the money, the salary cap. That's the other piece of it. So don't forget that.
They are they're near the top in terms of salary cap clearance next year. Like this, the Titans are about to become a drastically different roster.
It's funny, Rhett B was telling us before the show coming into this season that it was a 47% roster turnover. Because, Rhett B crunches all the numbers all the time. And so he was like, yeah, coming into this year, 47% roster turnover. We were talking. He was like, it could be that next year.
Yes, it could.
I mean, that easily could be it because Ryan Tannehill is not back.
Yep.
I don't think Derrick Henry's back. I bet Tierra Tart's not back.
Shocked if he's back.
I'll be surprised if he's back, especially with everything that's going on with him. I think Big Jeff's comments had to do with him.
Yeah, even if they don't trade King Henry now, he's not back, right? Like I think this
Danico
move,
Autry's probably not back.
This
right?
move tells you that there's going to be a roster cleansing.
Yep. Christian Fulton, he gone.
And look, man, I know people romanticize certain players, and I mean, Kevin Byard, to his credit, is one of the most beloved Titans players in franchise history. I mean, think about this guy. He was not invited to the NFL scouting combine and then was taken in, the 3rd round?
Yeah.
So say what you want about John Robinson. I get all the stuff because that's where the roster is right now, but he did that.
Yes, he did.
He did that. And Kevin Byard, I mean, he's – Blaine Bishop said today, and I trust Blaine on this, and the Titans and Oilers have had – tremendous safeties over the course of the years. Blaine said he's the best ever. Kevin Byard. I trust them on that.
And he also pointed out, because I had said, Byard's been quiet this year, but you can't look away from the struggles that, well, for one, the offense is having, which of course puts the defense in terrible positions and on the field quite a bit. And then also up front. And that is when Kevin Byard has, because do you remember every time he was asked, why are you having such a good year? How is it going? When was this? 2 years ago? He was like, look at my guys up front. That allows Kevin Byard to play the way Kevin Byard can play.
Yep.
And that hasn't been what it needs to be for the Titans this year for numerous reasons. So I can sit here and say, well, Kevin Byard's been quiet this year, but you have to look at what's going on around the rest of the defense, and that's a big reason why.
And you got to see it last night with it, Sunday Night Football. When you're watching them up front, look at Fletcher Cox, all of the Georgia players, big Jordan Davis, Hassan Reddick, the Kobe Dean, like the list goes, Jalen Carter, the list goes on and on. Those guys are menacing up front, and I'm not saying individually, but together as a unit, the production is crazy where you get to roam like that the way Kevin Byard is used to playing when the Titans are hitting on all cylinders when getting to the pass, the passer as far as the quarterback goes and playing in the backfield is totally different. So it makes total sense. And I think it's weird to think
it
that
sucks,
people,
but it makes sense. Yeah.
I think it's weird for people to also think that that the Titans talked to Kevin Byard and said, Kevin Byard, what team you want to go to? Oh, I want to go to the Eagles. Oh, okay, we'll send you to the Eagles. Let's see what
this is a business.
Yeah,
it doesn't work that way. Yeah, ask who in the past? Ask Jarrell Casey if he wanted to be traded.
There you go.
Ask Eddie George.
Yeah, it don't work like that, man.
Any of those guys, it doesn't work that way. So Austin Stanley, our buddy over at A to Z Sports, tweeted this and sent this. The Titans got the best value of any trade so far this season. For those that are saying they didn't get enough for Kevin Byard. Kevin Byard is the 7th NFL player traded this season. This is from Austin Stanley. The 2024 5th and 6th round picks are the highest compensation of any trade. And they got a player in it too, right?
Yeah.
Byard is just...
Who's going to start?
Right.
I would imagine.
Well, kind of has to, doesn't it?
Has to, I would think.
Byard is just the 2nd player to be moved for a 2024 pick. Randy Gregory, 7th round, was the other. All others were 2025 picks or beyond.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and they needed 2024 picks.
Bad. So you can also look at that when you look at compensation. That's a great point by Austin Stanley that they got the highest compensation of any trade that has actually happened this year.
So Terrell Edmunds, the player coming over from Philadelphia, he spent 5 years in Pittsburgh. He was a first-round draft pick of the Pittsburgh Steelers out of Virginia Tech, 28th overall. Started 16 games his rookie year, 16 games in year 2, 15 in year 3, then all 17 in year 4, 15 in 2022, and then 2 of 7 this year in Philadelphia as a spot player. But 438 games, 86 games played in the NFL, 438 tackles, 5 sacks, 5 interceptions. That's who's coming over and will be next to Amani Hooker on Sunday against the Atlanta Falcons. Mm-hmm. But you're right. I mean, ultimately, this comes down to how are the Titans going to build for the future? And Rand Carthon took an opportunity to gain more cap space for next year. That look, Mike Vrabel's trying to win games every week. Rand Carthon's sitting in the press box or the suites or whatever, trying to figure out like big picture how do I get to a Super Bowl as quickly as I can.
As you should.
Next year and the year after.
So I know that
Kevin Byard.
people are upset right now. I get it. And this one stings and it's going to last a minute. But I also think when we get into the next offseason, I think it's going to be kind of a fun time for Titans fans to kind of watch the attempt at the rebirth. Yep. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's always fun to kind of be in there on the base level. And, I mean,
you get to watch it.
That's kind of where they're headed.
Yeah.
It looks like.
Yep.
Now, Will Levis starts on Sunday and plays well, and they beat the Falcons are only a 1-point favorite in this game. Like, Mike Vrabel's not going out there to lose. He's going to try to win all of these games. There's no question. But, this big picture side story, I think, is really interesting to see how they grow from here.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
615-737-1045. Doc in Nashville. Doc, what's up?
What's going on, guys?
Yo.
I know we've got a very emotional fan base at the moment. Let me try to talk people off the ledge. In addition to being a huge Titans fan, I'm also a fan of the Oklahoma City Thunder. And if you look at the two teams, they have a lot in commonality. Oklahoma City is a small market team. They don't get big free agent signings. Tennessee historically doesn't do it unless we drastically overpay guys. But if you see what the GM for OKC has done, he has retooled and rebuilt that team, but they had to go through a bit of a lull. I think Mike Vrabel is safe. I believe Rand Carthon is safe. I think in that safety, they have come to an agreement that, you know what, we need to plan for the future and we need to make this sustainable, as opposed to simply peaking and making the playoffs just because we play in the AFC South. We need to get beyond that and really go from good to great. In order to do that, we got to get younger, we got to get better, and we got to be able to replenish through the draft. I'll hang up and see what you guys have to think about it. But thanks for the time.
Appreciate it, man. The biggest question to me, like, as we sit here and think about this, is like, if this is a regrowth window, which clearly it is, like, how long? How do you make that window as short as humanly possible? Right, and so like, I think moving on from Derrick Henry, this market's going to blow up on that one too, obviously.
But it
makes sense, doesn't it?
Yes.
And I freaking hate to sit here and say that. I love watching that dude.
I was the one who bought his jersey. But I'm still saying, as an organization,
throwback.
Yeah, like for the throwback game, it's going to end up being a throwback. It looked like, but for the organization as a whole, man, if you want to see your team, your franchise evolve, like, you got to shave off the fat. It's just like when you go to get a haircut. You know what I mean? Like, you cut off the what is it? What's it called, Babs? The dead ends, the loose ends?
Split hairs?
Yeah, you feel me? To help the new growth come on in. You know what I'm saying?
You said dead ends, I started thinking about barbecue in Kansas City.
I'm all over with it. But that's
split hair is much different.
That's the thing, though. Like, you got to be willing to hurt a little bit to grow. Like, you know what I'm saying? You cry in order to get through it, get through the pain, you know what I'm saying? So you can all of a sudden smile. It's sun on the other side. That's what it's going to be, man. That's part of it.
I just looked at SpotTrack.com 2024 Titans salary cap numbers. You want me to run down the list of who are the tops on the Titans roster in terms of cap hit?
Yes.
For 2024?
Because they all going to be gone.
Well, it's interesting that you say that.
Hit
yes and no. Harold Landry, $23.8 million, is the biggest cap hit the Titans have next year.
Oh, I was talking about free agents.
Oh, no. I'm talking about Titans
in general.
I'm trying to figure out who's next, like you just said. So Harold Landry, next year, his dead cap number is 36.9. His cap hit is 23.8. They ain't cutting him.
Yeah.
Is there any value for Harold Landry right now?
Not at that price.
He ain't shown it.
He hadn't shown it. All right, number 2. Jeffrey Simmons ain't going anywhere. $21.8 million, dead cap, 41.
I saw somebody in our chat say Jeffrey Simmons is next. No. Because here's the deal. Here's what you're missing. Kevin Byard is going to be 31 years old next year.
Right.
31 at that position.
Yep.
Okay? They're getting younger. Jeffrey Simmons is right in the wheelhouse, the position and the age and the skill level that you can build with him. Okay.
All right, number 3. DeAndre Hopkins, $15.9 million next year. Dead cap of 7.
That makes sense.
Dead cap of just 7, so that's half his number. They could move on from him.
But you might not want to.
Do you know who number 4 is?
I'm going to hate everything about number 4, aren't I?
No, because you'll be rid of him. Maybe. Wait, let me look at the dead cap number.
Did you already do 3?
Yeah, 3 is Hopkins.
Who was 2?
Simmons.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Landry, Simmons, Hopkins. Andre Dillard, number 4.
Wow.
I'm sorry. I just threw up in my mouth.
$10.698 million against the cap, Andre Dillard next year.
What a waste.
Shave it off.
Rand takes a hit on that one.
What's the dead?
7.72.
I don't care. I don't care if it was 20. See ya.
Number 5 is Amani Hooker. You're not getting rid of him. Number 6 is Ryan Tannehill. He'll be gone. Number 7, Derrick Henry. Our guess is he'll be gone. And then, it's a pretty good list. I mean, at that point, you're looking at a second-year guy in Skoronski, so you're still in a rookie deal on that thing. Caleb Farley, see ya. His salary cap number is his dead cap number.
Gone.
$4.2 million. Gone.
Yeah.
He hasn't been on the field.
Hasn't been on the field.
You don't know what he is.
They would have done it this year if it were financially viable.
Right.
My guess. All right, 615-737-1045. More of your phone calls. Brian in Nashville. Brian, what up?
What up, gentlemen?
Yo.
And ladies.
And lady.
Yo. Oh. Well, why don't we keep going? You need to focus on Mike Vrabel. All these players that come in, that they draft and get on the team, hey, Vrabel's got to coach them up, and they got to get better. Or, you know what? Is it the season? Yeah. Throw the season away now. Just throw it all away.
I'm not doing that.
Well,
I mean, I get it. I know a lot of people are going to agree with you and disagree with me, but that's not just my mindset. I'm too competitive for that. But I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. And you can see how Vrabel coaches, and even the position coaches and the play calling. It's old hat. Need to change it.
All right, brother. Thank you.
You're going to start. Take care.
A lot of people are going to agree with you. A lot of people are going to agree with you.
Well, I mean, he has a different offensive coordinator. Like, so you want to sit here and say, oh, the play call, whatever. It's a different OC this year than it was last year. The play calling is different.
Yeah, I have no thought about Vrabel being done. Like, that is.
No. That's no.
And also, like, I think you get a little view into what the general manager is thinking about the head coach too, because like he's making these moves. He's going to put his head coach in a position with whatever he comes up with. And this is not a 1-year thing. This is going to be like a 2-3 year thing for Rand Carthon to try to rebuild this thing. Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean you can't win while you're rebuilding the roster either. So, I mean, maybe you're going to see a lot of younger players out there. I mean, again, I come back to.
Listen, you're going to find out what you have.
Right. And I come back to. It actually is kind of exciting to kind of be on the ground level and watch them build something. You know what I mean?
I think it's now. I won't put myself in the Titans super fan conversation like Mr. Babs or anything like that. But I think it's exciting because the future is bright, right? Because and let me tell you why. First of all, Edmund's salary, that's a 1-year deal, by the way. So that's he's a stopgap there. Yeah. Honk. Look at Spot Track.
Yes.
Where are the Titans with just this deal and where they are? Where are they salary cap availability next year? Because it was big coming into this.
Right now, for the top 51 players, the Titans are now the number 2 team in cap space availability with over $80 million available.
Let me ask you this, too, because they cut.
That's exciting.
That is exciting. And they cut some numbers off this year. Could they go out and make a move? Could they go out and bring in Devontae Adams or somebody like that? Could they?
Go get some gas.
I mean, I don't know that I would if my plans are like what Don said, to start a rookie quarterback for a while. Like, I might wait on a move like that. But I'm just saying, like, if you've cleared some space this year, maybe you clear some more. Do you do something this year? Maybe you go out and beat the Falcons and you're suddenly 3-4 and you're tied for second in the AFC South. I don't know. They are 2.5 games behind Jacksonville, though, already. So there's that.
Somebody said it's only exciting if you use the funds properly. Yeah, but guess what? We haven't seen Rand Carthon and how he utilizes funds.
That's right.
Like, I think he walked in here thinking, okay, let's make some moves on the offensive line and we can win this year. We don't have to rebuild. We don't have to do that. And then I think now he's like, well, crap, we can't. We can't do that. It didn't work with the offensive line. The moves in the offseason didn't work. So we don't know what Rand looks like as a GM yet.
True, 615-737-1045. If you want to watch the show live, you can. YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
Thank you, Dawn. The Evan and Bake chat is open. 3HL is presented by Spring Hill Heating and Cooling. SpringHillAC.com. Kevin Byard traded today. Your reaction, 615-737-1045. Buddy on Carpet One is here to keep you comfortable at home with the Cozy Up to Carpet Flooring Sale. Visit our friends at Buddy Allen now through November 6th to get big savings on carpets of every style, pattern, and texture. Need a little financing help? Enjoy 0 interest if paid in full within 18 months. Stop by the store in Donaldson today to get details and guidance from the flooring experts. Visit BuddyAllenCarpet1.com for details, or stop by the store in Donaldson, 2405 Lebanon Pike, 615-883-3289, BuddyAllenCarpet1.com.
All right, organizing your closets, taking back over your office space, maybe your garage, doesn't matter. Artisan Custom Closets has you covered and can help you do all of it. You want to go check them out on their website, ARTISAN customclosets.com. And let's say you do want that breathtaking dream closet you've always dreamed of, or maybe you want to buy it for your significant other for the upcoming holidays. Now's a perfect time to do it. You can get a free in-home consultation today with Artisan Custom Closets, and they'll come in, do a free design appointment, put it all into a 3D plan, send it to you, work with your budget so you can take away, add whatever you really love, and they can make it perfect for you. That's why they call it custom. ArtisanCustomClosets.com. If you tell them Dawn sent you, give them a call. They will give you 10% off whatever your project is, whether it's your garage or your home office or your laundry room. And they also have payment options as well. 615-800-2199 is the number. 800-2199. Go say goodbye to your clutter. Get a free in-home consultation today. That's ArtisanCustomClosets.com.
Since days of Underoos. Is that the
da-da-da-dums? You gotta know it. You know it. You know exactly
Oh,
what
man.
you're talking
Hypnotize, one of the great songs of all time. 3HL 1045 The Zone. The Titans have traded Kevin Byard to the Eagles for a 5th and 6th round draft pick and safety Terrell Edmunds. Started a lot of games, 86 games he's played in the NFL. He will pop in there immediately. Not Kevin Byard. And I get people being upset. I mean, we are too. Like, we love dealing with that guy.
Yeah, without
He's
question.
an amazing
In the
person.
community everywhere. And will have an immediate effect on Philadelphia Eagles defense.
Yep.
Immediately. Because they got a veteran bunch.
It's hard to just bring in a leader like that
That's-
6 games in.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And after a big win against Miami.
They know what they're shooting for, though. So they understand what we got to do, how we got to do it, and we're accepting. Everyone is pushing in that same direction. And Kevin Byard is most definitely pushing in the direction of a championship. So.
Only guest today is Mike Keith, voice of the Titans at 420.
At 420?
Chris Lowe graciously stepped aside due to
Savage at 5.
Oh, Savage at 5, yes. Mike Keith at 420, Savage at 5. Chris Lowe stepped away graciously due to the topic nature in this town of Kevin Byard being traded. We'll talk college football with him on Thursday. So we'll instead of taking a look back on Monday, like how the hell did North Carolina lose to Virginia, Tennessee, Alabama, all those things, we will look ahead to the games coming up this weekend in the world of college football with Chris on Thursday. Falcons at Titans. Falcons favored by 1 point. They're 4-3. They just they've won 2 out of 3. They beat Tampa Bay on the road. Titans at 2-4, 12 o'clock on CBS, and also, of course, right here on 104.5 The Zone. Falcons, as I said, in first place in the NFC South. Titans coming off a much-needed bye. They are in last place in the AFC South, 2.5 games behind the Jags. Baseball coming up tonight. Couple of clinching opportunities for the Phillies, for the Rangers and Astros, both Game 7 there, so it's going to be fun. Monday Night Football, 49ers at Vikings, 49ers by 7. They are 5-1. Vikings 2-4, 7:15 on ABC. Hey. Titans have traded Kevin Byard. Your reaction, 615-737-1045. Todd is in the borough. Todd, what's up, man?
Hey, how's it going?
We're good.
All right. Everybody just needs to chill out on that deal because the Titans have got to get younger, and it wouldn't surprise me a bit if they didn't trade Henry this year, just to get more draft picks later on.
Agreed.
I mean, look at the Detroit line. 2 years ago, they were at the bottom of the barrel. Now they're fighting. They're looking a lot better than they used to. We'll all get attached to these older players just like we did with Eddie George and them. We just got to let that go if we're going to see it happen. But if they don't pay any money and get good players in, then I'll be worried.
Appreciate it, Todd. Thank you, man.
Todd, real quick, Todd.
Right.
Todd, I got a question
Yeah.
for you. What do you think what's a good value getting back? What would suffice for you a good value as far as getting back for him as a trade? Derrick Henry.
For Derrick Henry?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it just depends on what team's out there that's in the hunt that's needing a running back.
Right.
Right now you're not going to get much value for an elderly running back, even though he's way younger than I am. But in the NFL, once you hit that 30-year-old mark, man, you start slipping a little.
Yep.
So, what we are in is the bottom of the barrel, and that's where we're going to be for the next year or two. I don't think we're going to be able to come out real fast. Hopefully they're going to have a whole lot of money to spend on some draft picks. I just hope they do a better job than what they've been doing.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it,
man.
615-737-1045.
Yeah, I want to know that, man, because I'm torn in that. And like he said, when you start talking about running back years in the NFL, even though they're trying to change it, they're protesting and doing everything as much as they can for it, as far as running backs coming together, creating almost like a separate union, it's still, you're almost talking in dog years, you know what I'm saying, when you're talking about a running back. So, like, what settles your spirit when you start talking about running backs getting traded and what value? And you're talking about a Hall of Fame running back.
Yeah, one of the questions we'll ask Mike Keith and Ramone Foster is, can Terrell Edmunds immediately step in there and play on Sunday? And my guess would be, yes, he can play.
Right.
Can he start and play the majority of the snaps. I don't know. Behind him, Elijah Molden, who's been hurt.
Yep. 26 years old, too, Edmunds.
Yeah, he's only 6 years in. Shaheem Carter, former first-round pick, Terrell Edmunds. Shaheem Carter is back there. Matthew Jackson, who is from Nashville and played at Eastern Kentucky for Walt Wells, who we had on the show a few weeks ago. 615-737-1045 is the number. You can watch the show YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
Let's go to Joshua in White House. Joshua, what's up? Thanks, bud.
That never ceases to crack me up when she said that.
Us too, believe it.
Hey, man, I called it. I was on one of my Titans forums or whatever. I was going to buy another jersey, and I'm like, who can I get? I have a Henry jersey, and obviously the next couple of years, no matter what happens this year, next couple of years, Henry's going to be gone. And everybody in the forum was like, Byard. And I was like, oh, that's great. Thought about getting a Byard uniform. I was like, no. Something's going to happen because I'm bad luck.
Yeah.
As soon as I buy that jersey.
I mean, if you listen
Slang and
to,
Hunk just bought one.
I know, but the funny part of that,
tags off.
the funny part of that is like in the offseason we identified those two guys as the most likely tradable, and we caught a lot of crap about that, and I get it because people love these guys. I mean, Slade just bought the jersey, like you just said.
Yep.
So
Right, yeah. I think Henry, honestly, I think Henry's next. I want to see him come back next year because I want him to be our all-time running back in Titans history. I think he can do that.
Yeah.
But it's a rebuild, and that's what we got to do. So yeah.
Man,
appreciate it, man. Look, I
did get the Simmons jersey too, though. He ain't going nowhere.
So, big man with a big man.
Yes.
Like it when the guys pitch a tip down like,
Yeah, you know what I mean? That's my thing.
Oh man, did the SEC Network guys say anything? Like, did they crack jokes about that, or is it just us?
No, it's just y'all that caught it.
Nobody else caught it.
No.
Oh man. All right. Well, I mean, another question is like, and I get people like are concerned about rebuilds, but like rebuild, regrowth, whatever. Like there's a fire in the forest that burns, and then there's regrowth. Like, where are you on that? Like, I know a lot of people that are excited by that because it's like, okay, here's something new and fresh. Let's go, and I can be here and watch all of it, and keep up with all of it, all the moves and everything. Or do you get sad about like because you kind of romanticize the old heads,
right?
And like, man, I don't want to see these guys leave.
But don't you have to feel good, like with new management coming in, like Rand Carthon, knowing that the backing of what Miss Amy does is solely separate than when you talking about washing away what was the old, you know what I'm saying? You got
the only issue there is that Dillard transaction.
Yeah, I mean, but I think what else was out there on the market is the only thing. You had to have somebody.
That is true.
You had to have somebody.
And
that's
you
a good
overpaid
retort.
him for what? I was just going to say you overpaid him for what he is and what we're seeing.
Yeah.
But you didn't overpay him for the market at
You had
that
to,
point.
Right. That's what
for
I
him.
said. That was set for it. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, more of your reaction. Titans trade Kevin Byard, 615-737-1045.
What is happening, good people? Yes, get the weight up off of you. How you going to do it? I mean, some people run, some people jog, some people just want to eat. I wanted to eat to get the weight off me. I was able to do that with Awaken 180. That's right. Start monitoring exactly what I was eating and also putting the right things into my body. Yeah, I got to load up on them veggies, man. You can do it. I can do it. You can do it too. Hey, it's real simple. You need to call and get a consultation today at 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800. 1800 online at awaken180weightloss.com. Go on and reach out, man. I dropped those 45 pounds off, and I've been looking for them, but they ain't nowhere to be found because they ain't coming back. Yeah. Yes, that's right. There's no return to send on them bad boys, man. They can keep them, whoever got them. I'm not looking for them. You need to roll on in there, man, and get it up off of you as well. It increases testosterone, lower blood pressure, and cholesterol, and so many other healthy things for you. Plus, you just want to be right, don't you? You want to walk by that mirror and put on those clothes. It's about to be fall. Don't be covering up with sweatsuits and stuff. Go on and put the right thing on. I'm fine with it. You be fine with it. Awaken180weightloss.com.
All right. Do you know who the best auto dealer was in this year's Nashville Scenes Best of Nashville poll? Well, that would be, my friends, over at Two Rivers Ford. Not a surprise if anybody has done business with Two Rivers Ford, because they want you to know that they understand that everybody shops differently for a vehicle. And maybe nowadays there are some people who don't even want to bother going to the dealership. They know exactly what they want. They can custom order the exact vehicle they want online. You can even buy a stocked vehicle online. You can schedule an at-home test drive, so you don't even have to go to the dealership. You can call, text, do a video walkthrough, all of that. Or you can actually just show up at Two Rivers Ford too. Whatever works best for you is what Two Rivers Ford will do for you. And of course, if you do go to the dealership, they have non-commissioned sales experts that are the best at Two Rivers Ford to make sure you have everything you need and answer all your questions. Two Rivers Ford sells all their new non-specialty Fords at 1% over invoice. You're in the driver's seat at Two Rivers Ford. Go see my friends. Two Rivers Ford, powered by Ford, driven by people.
Good afternoon from the 1045 The Zone Studios. I'm Joe Honk. There's a lot of news, but the only thing that matters is the fact that the Tennessee Titans have traded away all-pro defensive back Kevin Byard. He is now a Philadelphia Eagle. Now, in return, the Eagles are sending 2 picks from the 2024 draft, a 5th-rounder and a 6th-rounder, as well as safety Terrell Edmunds, who is currently on a 1-year deal. Edmunds has started 2 games for the Eagles this season. Last year, as well as the previous 4, he spent in Pittsburgh as a Steeler. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans and home to 3HL. This is 1045 The Zone.
3HL 1045 The Zone. Brent Doherty with you on a beautiful day in the Music City. Dawn Davenport is here.
I'm in the building.
She is. There's one less Titan in the building. Kevin Byard has been traded. We'll get to that. Your reaction. We're taking tons of phone calls. A lot of y'all on YouTube, I know. That's where I am currently. Ron Slay is here.
I'm in the building. I'm in the building.
Best believe I'm in the building. Better be ready. I'm in the building. Car ain't got no rules. Time for the show.
You can watch the show live, YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
The Evident Bank chat is open and running hot. 3HL presented by Spring Hill Heating and Cooling, springhillac.com. Kevin Byard, number 4 all-time in interceptions, Titans Oilers franchise history. His name will be in the new building when they do the Ring of Honor over there, I'm sure, at some point. Chance at the Hall of Fame. A lot going on. He's going to the Eagles. Terrell Edmunds comes over. He was a 5-year guy for the Steelers, former first-round pick from Virginia Tech. Started a ton of games for the Steelers. Goes to Philly and has started 2 of 7 this year. Had 9 tackles on Sunday. And will come over. Titans also receive a 5th and 6th round pick. So what does this tell you? What does this move tell you? Number one, what's your reaction to that? Because Kevin Byard's just one of those rare guys that really moves the needle within the market, you know? The only other guy that I think can move the needle getting traded like him is Derrick Henry. Those are the 2 guys.
Oh,
and so
that'll move something.
That'll move the needle, for sure. That'll move something, yes. You said the city will burn. When we were talking about it last week. Not against the trade?
No.
At this point, listen, when you're a general manager and you get a new job and your roster is kind of in flux, you're thinking 3-5 years down the line. You're not thinking about the Falcons. So while Mike Vrabel's trying to win Sunday, Rand Carthon's thinking about what moves can I make to make this team better big picture-wise down the road.
As he should.
What can I do to bring this city a Super Bowl? That's what he's thinking in terms of roster development.
Agreed.
615-737-1045, your reaction. Let's go to Adrian in Columbia next up. Adrian, what's up?
What's up? How y'all doing?
Good, man. What up?
Adrian?
Man, I don't know, man. It's another day as a Titans fan.
It's hard, isn't it?
I'll say it's hard, man. I've been since '99. You know, they locked Steve McNair out, RIP, and it's just been rough. But I see the bigger picture. Me and my friend was talking about it last night. I was like, dude, something's got to change. We got a new stadium that's getting built. We can't keep bringing the same energy and the same type of win one year, lose another year in a new stadium. Like, they're building that stadium because they want to see Super Bowls, not the
That's
same
exactly
thing
right.
doing. So I don't want to see them leave, but at the same time, I understand why they're doing it. I'll say, if anything, at this point in time, this is a far-fetched wish. But if I could do anything, man, send a 2025 first-round pick, maybe Traylon Burks, and go ahead and get Devontae Adams. And just build for the future. I know that next year Dallas' left tackle, Anthony Pollard's coming up, and the starting left tackle is going to be a free agent. And as of right now, with them both gone, the Dallas Cowboys are still going to be in the red. They still going to have to cut some more money somewhere to get some stuff. So it's a lot of options next year. I've been looking. So I'm just, we're building for the future, and I'm spending 10 toes down, and I'm here for it. I just wanted to get y'all thoughts on what I said. I'm going to sit back and listen.
I mean, we brought up the Devontae Adams possibility earlier in the show because you do clear money for this year. But I think Rand Carthon, I'm just spitballing, but he's thinking beyond this year, right? Like, so Devontae Adams actually does make sense to me moving forward as kind of the linchpin guy. And then what do we know about what we have with Traylon Burks over there?
I was just going to say there's zero value for Traylon Burks right now.
Oh, you're not trading him?
Nope, zero.
But the hope is, he gets healthy, and then he's a secondary guy for a dog receiver.
Right.
And DeAndre Hopkins has been that, and he's gotten frustrated when he hadn't gotten targets and all those things, and because why? He's a dog. But
And
if you're
Traylon
talking,
Burks hasn't been out there.
if you're talking about next year, of Traylon Burks and DeAndre Hopkins and Devontae Adams with a rookie gunslinger quarterback, I'm here to see how that goes down. I mean, I'm locked in to see how that rolls.
That'd be wild to see.
Right?
That'd be wild to see. He said so he would have to go to the Raiders though, which they already had. Didn't they just give Josh Jacobs some money?
Oh, you're thinking about D. Henry. I was just thinking about this as a separate move. Yeah.
Let's spend that bread.
Because I think you're right. You keep asking the question about Derrick Henry, like what do you expect to get? Not what they got for Kevin Byard.
No. Nope. I don't think so.
Like somebody
And that's a tough pill to swallow for me.
just texted me and said they're talking about Derrick Henry. It's happening. Can they get a 4th rounder for him?
I don't think so.
That's a stretch. I mean, they can. Let's do it.
I mean, maybe because
you got
like
Tajay already.
what would the Titans have gotten had they not gone after a player with the Kevin Byard deal? They would have gotten more than a 5th and 6th, but Philly might not have done it.
Right.
So there's that.
They needed a guy. They had to have a guy to create that.
So Devontae Adams signed a 5-year, $140 million contract in March of 2022. So honestly, like, you just let that contract roll. I'm sure he would want some sort of extension or redo or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, he just signed that last March.
Right.
So that's an interesting one. 615-737-1045. Lines are loaded. We appreciate y'all. Want to give you a chance today and all week, really, to react to this Kevin Byard trade news to the Philadelphia Eagles. Mario in Rockville. Mario, what up?
Good afternoon. Rough afternoon.
Yeah.
But I don't think we give up, right? Just anybody competitive, you don't give up. Give it everything you got. But you guys talked earlier about how do we shorten this window, right? We acknowledge what current value we have and we take advantage of it. So we're looking at Derrick Henry, Tart, some other high paid players who give us some glimmer of hope on Sundays, right? We got to take advantage of those because we're in a rebuild. I mean, it is what it is. But I did want to touch. You guys had mentioned all kinds of great things about Byard, but my son came home and he was like in tears, and I was like, "Oh man, what happened?" He said, "Did you not hear?" And of course, I didn't hear at the time because it happened so quick. But Byard's our favorite player. We have his jersey, so if you guys are thinking about getting it, why not? He's a good dude, right?
Yep.
But we're still going to support him. We're happy for him.
Mm-hmm.
But he had an impact, my 10-year-old. We met him at MTSU, and they retired his number. He came up, gave him a high five. He was just very cool. So it goes beyond just the football field, the impact that he had, with the fans. But we just got to acknowledge it. Good for him, good for AJ. We just got to take advantage of the situation and capitalize on our assets.
Hey,
good afternoon.
Hey Mario, real quick, you want to know something cool? You want to know something cool?
What's that?
So our people
Absolutely.
at MTSU say that Byard doesn't call over there asking for anything. Like he just shows up at football games and basketball games and just sits in the stands.
You'll see him out there, and he's just so cool. Like my son, he was scared to death to go up to him. I was like, "Hey, just walk out there and say hi." But he stopped, gave him a high five, shook his hand, and he's just very personable. And it's rare that you meet people that are like that, high profile people. But good luck for him. He made a good impact. It's tough as a Titans fan. We'll get through it, but good luck for him.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. We'll get through it.
No, it's true.
No,
though.
I know.
But hey, that's a great point. And it was the same when Jarrell Casey was traded too, by the way, because he did so much in this community. He was a community man of the year. His wife, Ryan, was phenomenal, giving back. And that's the same with the Byards. Like Kevin's wife, Clark, it was the head of the board for Rally on the Runway. Kevin had, Byard had supported that charity and that cause for ever since Jarrell got traded. As a matter of fact, maybe the next defensive guy doesn't want to step into that role, but him and his wife Clark have done so much for this community on top of it, and I'm sure that it'll be another situation where even though he's traded, I'm sure they'll keep a home here and all that because they're so embedded in this community. And it's a great point that you lose leadership in that locker room with him. And after the break, I have a question for Slay.
Okay.
On what a trade like this does to a team when your team starts trading away superstars, or when a guy like this is traded, especially in the middle of this season.
Right.
What can that do mentally to a team?
We'll ask Slay that. Also, the voice of the Titans, Mike Keith, coming up next. And Devontae Adams, just looking at his contract, there is a potential out after the 2024 deal. His contract's going to remain the same unless he gets traded and gets redone until after 2024. That's when his dead cap number comes way down. So this year his dead cap is 54,420. That's what you would have to pay even if you cut the guy. Or got 40.4 next year, and then it goes down to 15.7 after that. So we'll keep an eye on that. By the way, you were talking about some beloved Titans. Certainly Eddie George fits in that bill. And since we're talking about former Titans, and since I mentioned Eddie George, trying to work in some of the stuff that happened this weekend, TSU pounded Lincoln, California, 54-0 to get to 5-2 overall. The Tigers are 3-0 at home. Check this out. Eddie loves this. TSU had 314 yards and 7 rushing touchdowns.
That's dope.
On the ground this weekend. You know that made him happy. TSU's won 3 in a row. They host Lindenwood Saturday at 2 p.m. They're 3-4. Lindenwood is, and 1-2. So TSU trying to get to 6-2 this weekend. Wanted to work that in. Congrats to Eddie George and the guys on a big win. All right, voice of the Titans, Mike Keith, coming up next. Again, more reaction. Kevin Byard traded to the Eagles. 3HL 104.5 The Zone.
I love Coach Mac. All right, based on a 2022 survey of leading window brands among homeowners, I'm going to tell you who is number one in a whole lot of categories. That would be Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. Number one for highest quality and craftsmanship, Pella, the leading window brand in Nashville. It was voted that. Pella rated number one by Nashville homeowners for innovation as the most trusted window brand. Nashville homeowners recommend Pella more than any other window brand, and rated number one for the highest craftsmanship and the window brand that stands behind their products, as well as for the highest quality. I could go on, and Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville will go on and help you out. So maybe you need new windows and doors, especially with winter coming. Keep that cold air out with brand new windows. Pella is who you need to call. Pella Windows and Doors, 50% off qualifying installs and no money down, no interest, no payments for 12 months. Right now, if you tell them Dawn sent you, they'll take care of you. Go visit them. PellaNashville.com.
Go up to Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. That's where you need to go to get that next new vehicle, whether you're looking for a new car, truck, SUV, or Jeep, or a pre-owned car, truck, SUV, or Jeep. Gupton is the place for you to get that done, whether you're looking around now, dealership to dealership. Certainly include Gupton in that process. If you are thinking about getting that done and are about to start that process, start with Gupton. You won't need anyone else. Gupton, Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Ken Gupton, Daniel Gupton, and crew at Gupton, ready to help you out. No pressure at all. They simply want you in the vehicle that's right for you. That's what's going to happen when you go see them. You'll tell them what you need, maybe more room, less of a payment. I don't know, something more reliable. They'll be able to help you out, get you in the vehicle that's right for you. You take your test drive, you go inside. They will help make the numbers work, and it will be that easy. 24 West or Clarksville, exit 35, about 9 miles outside the city. Then a beautiful drive into Springfield, Tennessee for the best vehicle buying experience you've ever had. Check them out online, GuptonMotors.com. Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, 30 minutes from downtown Nashville, 3450 Tom Austin Highway in Springfield, Tennessee. That's Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. 3HL 104.5 The Zone. Kevin Byard has been traded by the Titans to the Eagles. Terrell Edmunds, safety, comes over. 5th and 6th round pick also. 111 straight starts, if my math is correct. And if it's not, I'm going to bring in Mike Key to correct me. But that goes back to his rookie season of 2016.
Wow.
Held it down, man. Held it down. Mike Key, voice of the Titans, with us on 3HL. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay, producer Joe Hung. Mike, what's up? How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Just getting back from Evansville, Indiana, and the quarterback club there.
Oh, nice.
What did you have to say in Evansville today, Mike?
We talked about a lot of things. It's a fantastic group. It really is. We talk a lot of college football and all about the NFL, and they're certainly interested in the Titans. And it's one of my most fun things to do every year because it's a group of people who know their stuff and really make me work for it. So I enjoy that a lot.
Did you speak to them prior to the Kevin Byard news today?
I did.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Do you have any?
They probably think I was holding out on them, but I didn't have any idea.
Yeah. You and Rep B hit any of the casinos up there, Mike, while you were there?
I've been there before. I'm aware that they are there, but
I'm aware
it's been a long time. Certainly did not today.
Did you know, quick note about one Dawn Davenport? When I first met her, she would go on these trips to go to the casinos.
Yes, I used to see her in the casinos. I mean, as I walked by from the outside, as I cut through to a restaurant or something.
All right, let's work ourselves through this Kevin Byard deal. So for those just tuning in, the Titans have traded Kevin Byard to the Philadelphia Eagles. Terrell Edmunds will come over, former first-round pick out of Virginia Tech, 5 years with the Steelers, played in this year with the Philadelphia Eagles, and a 5th and 6th round pick. I guess let's start with this. This is a tough one for fans.
Can I start with something?
Yes, sir.
Real quick. As a Titans employee, I feel it's important for me to just say that the trade has not been confirmed by either side yet.
Okay.
And so I've just got to and understand, report. I certainly respect all the people reporting it, but I just feel like I need to say up front, I'm talking about the reports.
Okay.
Right.
So, can we start with what Kevin Byard means to this market and what he has meant to the franchise until this point, trade or no trade?
Well, the important thing about Kevin is the quality person he is and how much the part of the MTSU community has gotten out of him. I mean, you're his age and you've already had your college number retired. That's crazy. Yeah. And, I got to be there that night and it was so special and everybody there was so happy for him. The fact that he, in the past has been the United Way spokesperson. He and his wife have been the United Way spokespeople, and just to see him with every kid and every reporter and, the quality that he shows in dealing with everybody is top notch. The other part of it too, from a historical standpoint, is we've never quite had one like him that played at middle, had such a tie to the region already, and then came to us and became a star. Now we've had some Tennessee kids, University of Tennessee guys who've come here and have done that, but there was a sort of a grab to him in a very different way because he was, the guy who comes in, wasn't invited to the combine, plays so well at middle, and and then becomes a starter basically midway through his rookie year, and just did a phenomenal job for this team in every way, shape, and form. So there's quite an attachment to him from the personal standpoint. The trade part of it is where you have to step back and be a bit agnostic, and that's kind of the harder thing to do when you value the person so much. You don't want to disqualify the value of the person, and yet you have to when you look at it as the value to the trade.
So if these reports are accurate, Mike.
and I'm not saying they're not, Dawn.
I know.
Yeah.
You have to say that. Yes, absolutely.
Because nobody from either team has commented or confirmed it. It didn't go into the transactions, all of this. I think if we're going to hear something tonight, there will be probably something rather brief pending physicals. So that's why I say that, Don. I'm not trying to be a smart guy for sure.
No. I know exactly what you're saying here, which is why I prefaced it with that.
No, you're giving me the business is what you were doing.
No, I'm not. You know I'm not. No.
Yes, she is.
Well, but this is also what I'm going to ask you. If the reports are accurate, what does this Kevin Byard deal mean for the Titans?
Well, I think what it means at this point is they are in some ways taking down the age of the roster a little bit, taking off some salary in 2024. It's not a big savings for 2023, but for 2024. But I think the other part of it too. I'm sorry?
It is for 2024. Yes, you're right.
It is. Yeah, it's like $14 million or something.
It puts them number 2 in cap space in 2024.
But the other thing in that it doesn't tie them to one more thing going forward. And that's something I think they want to have the flexibility to do a variety of things. And it doesn't mean that people who are here are not coming back. It doesn't mean that necessarily at all. It means they want the flexibility to make whatever choices they make. I think the other thing too, it's a conversion of the Titans as they start to work toward being more of an outside dominated team. And I think if there are going to be dollars that are going to be spent, I mean, obviously Imani Hooker makes good money. He doesn't make what Kevin, makes, but it's going to be about corners. It's going to be about outside linebackers. It's going to be about wide receivers. It's going to be about, guys who play on the outside. And it's obviously going to have to be about quarterback too. But this game, because of 7-on-7 in high school, this game is about outside. This game is not as much about inside, unless you have a Jeffrey Simmons who is incredibly dominant and can be a difference maker. I don't think you're going to see as many guys get paid the same way. The same way you're not seeing running backs get paid the same way. Yeah. This game is evolving, and I think this is part of that evolution. That's just my opinion, but I think that's where you're going to see it go as they try to get faster. They try to build up more talent at the corner position, more talent at other positions that, you can never have enough corners. You can never have enough edge rushers. Unfortunately for running backs, you can find running backs. Unfortunately for safeties, you can find safeties. Unfortunately for inside linebackers, you can find inside linebackers. That's just where the game is going right now, particularly on defense.
And the Titans, if you look at historically what they have done and how they've built their roster, it's not that. I mean, that's fair to say, right?
I mean, it's been. I just think the game continues to evolve. I'm sitting here and I'm watching the replay of Miami and Philadelphia. I mean, look at these two teams.
Yeah.
Look where they're right. That's where their premiums are. So how are you going to stop a really good quarterback? You're going to hit him by rushing the passer. How are you going to defend 4 receivers? You better have 4 cornerback-like players. Your base defense now is not a 4-3 or a 3-4. It's a 4-2-5. That's your base defense in the NFL. So those are the areas, and generally, you look at players and the skill sets. I mean, the cover skill set is massive, and generally the better cover skill sets are with corners. But I just think you allocate pieces in your salary cap to different places, and when you allocate those pieces, it means you can't have something else.
Yep.
It's like when they paid Derrick Henry, they couldn't re-sign Jonathan Smith because they allocated that money somewhere else. Was it a good choice? Well, sure. I mean, Derrick's been an awfully good player, but those are the choices that you make. It's not a bad or good.
it's about those choices. I think under Rand Carthon and with Mike Vrabel having more of a say-so, my belief is you are seeing them look at reallocating those pieces over a period of time. So I don't necessarily believe that it's so much about Kevin can or Kevin can't. I think it's about what are we going to allocate toward the safety position going forward.
We think we're out here playing chess, and then we bring Mike Keith on the show. The voice of the Titans, Mike Keith, with us on 3HL.
I got a great lesson early on in this from Floyd Reese. And, he talked to me a lot about, because I talked to him philosophically about why you do certain things. And, he and Bill Polian had a very similar scheme, is they wanted to highlight their best assets and get their best assets with as much help as they could possibly get. And in essence, they paid 12 or 13 guys, and then the other 40 guys were kind of rookies or undrafteds or veteran free agents who moved around, because the sense was that you would be in a position where your best players were so good they could win. And so you didn't allocate your money to 25 guys. You allocated your money to about a dozen. When Indianapolis was doing what they were doing, they allocated almost no money to defense. None.
Right.
But they did pay Freeney. They did pay Mathis. Why? Because they both rushed the passer, and they had some pass rushers, but every year their back seven, it felt like they changed unless Bob Sanders was playing. It seemed like their back seven changed all the time, and that was because they just shifted guys in and out. They drafted guys to play now. They signed guys to play now. They weren't as much about development because they had Peyton Manning. Well, when we had Steve McNair and Eddie George and some guys who could really rush the passer on defense, we kind of did the same thing. And that there are decisions that you make, and I just think this is a sign of philosophy. I thought this when they asked him to take a pay cut in the offseason.
Yeah.
And that was really the first hint, is that they were going to make some philosophical changes.
Let me ask you this, Mike. Well, growing up, I grew up in a single-parent household. I was a lot of times looked at as the father, as the big brother, the stepbrother, the uncle, a lot of other things, regardless if I wanted it or not. You in your position, Mike, are the voice of reason for Titans fans. Sometimes you get that platform, whether you love it or not, Mike. What do you say to the fans that need soothing to make them understand, or to try to talk them off of, man, this really hurts, and which it does, but how do you soothe them and get them focused on the next game? And this is what it's about. This is how you evolve and how you get to those franchises like what you just mentioned, looking at the Eagles and the Dolphins play.
I think the difficulty in that, Ron, is because people are so emotionally attached to this person, and he has been a really good player for us.
Right.
And he has answered the bell. No matter when it was all going wrong and guys didn't think they could play, he went.
Yeah.
And in the 7-game losing streak, he was still out there. He made the 2 picks against Dallas in the game that they had absolutely no chance in because they were, playing with about 6 first-string NFL players.
Yeah.
But that's Kevin.
Right.
And, when I got the word initially today, the first thought is about Kevin. I did an interview with Kevin in England 10 days ago.
Right. Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun, just like everything with Kevin is. My hope is that as a person, that Kevin will go to Philadelphia. That's his hometown. He's got people there. It's obviously a good system. It's a good team. I hope he'll have tremendous success. And, I hope that because he's going somewhere that's a Super Bowl favorite in his hometown, that, that there will be a time where it'll be different. But at the moment that it happens for anybody and everybody, it's raw.
Right.
And again, the difficult part is really analyzing the football part of it.
Right.
and and not just listen. Will they put as good a safety out there on Sunday as Kevin Byard against the Falcons? I don't know.
Right.
No.
I don't know. I don't know who will go out there. But that's
regardless,
the whole thing.
probably
Will it be
not.
Edmunds or will it be Molden or Carter? You don't know that, but you have to look beyond this Sunday as to who the best safety would be to be out there, because, like I said, I think it's a lot more about philosophical and about where this franchise is going to go. They get 2 draft picks, so they're now back to 8. Be interested to see if it's their 6 from the Ugo Amadi trade that they get back, which could be a lot higher 6 than what Philadelphia's would be. You look at the rookies who've made this roster, and you look at the cap room that they have. And listen, the rookies who made the roster this year, they don't have to make the roster next year.
Right.
I mean, they may be replaced by 7 free agents.
Yeah.
With
all the money that's
point,
available.
yeah.
Yep.
Right. Well, but or that they and they may choose to apportion the money in a different way. We certainly have a quarterback question right now.
Definitely true.
Yeah.
Well,
because you don't have the starting quarterback healthy right now, and he is not available, or he's not under. I should say he's not under contract for next year.
Right.
Now, he could come back. I mean, but that's what I'm saying is you want everything on the table as a possibility for what you look at. You want to be able to sit down and have as many options as possible, and whether you agree with it or not, this move, if it goes through, is a move that opens up another possibility.
Yeah, a couple of points based off that answer, which I thought was really good stuff. A lot of people are like, okay, what are you going to get for a 5th-round pick? Well, now they've accumulated some of these third-day picks that you theoretically could move up and turn those into 3rd, 4th, whatever. I wanted to make that point. Yeah. But also, like you mentioned, who's going to trot out there at safety. Is safety a position where a newly acquired player could get out there theoretically immediately?
I would think so. He's been playing. He's played in all 7 games.
9 tackles yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, he's been playing. And, I mean, this is a guy who has roughly 80 career starts. I'm looking at it right now. He's 78 career starts in the league, and he played for Pittsburgh. He's 6'1", 217. And, but could he have a role? Could he play something in a role on Sunday? I mean, I don't know. What I do know.
Yeah, hopefully Molden is back.
Right. There's that, and Carter has been reliable and may get a chance. But let me remind you of a couple of 5th-round picks. Jayon Brown was a pretty good 5th-round pick.
Oh yeah.
Avery Williamson was a pretty good 5th-round pick.
Mm-hmm.
I think Josh Wiley's a pretty good 5th-round pick.
Dude, I think he's going to be a star.
Yeah, I think he's a really good player, and you didn't want to. I mean, you just couldn't go into this draft with a 1, 2, a 4, and 3 sevens.
Right.
I mean, you just can't do it. And now,
and theoretically, they might not be done. Well,
that's right. I mean, the trade deadline's not for 8 days, and again, they're not fire sailing. That's not what this is about. This is about getting some opportunities to do some things to, in their mind, put themselves in a position where, they have more options going forward this year and into next year.
Good
They
stuff.
could take these picks. Who knows? I mean, they could take picks and turn around and trade for somebody.
Right.
I mean, who knows?
Yeah, exactly. I should have made that point when I was making my draft pick point. Good stuff, Mike. Appreciate you, especially on a busy day like this, and always enjoy the visit. And good luck on Sunday. We'll be listening, man.
On at 6:00 tonight with the Mike Vrabel Show.
Yeah.
Oh.
Maybe it'll
no
go
head
down.
coach though. Off the bye.
Oh, no head coach off the bye. I was going to ask.
Who's filling in?
He's a smart man.
Well, he couldn't really comment anyway. I mean, I think, like I said, won't surprise me if you don't see a statement, but I don't think you're going to get any, he talks at 11 o'clock tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably going to be it could change. But
speaking of statements, Kevin Byard has released a statement, which we'll read. when we come back.
So we know it's true.
I look forward to that.
Yeah.
Neat.
He just
Yeah.
tweeted it.
Long-time listener, not first-time caller. But thank you, Mike. Good stuff, man.
Okay, see you.
All right, Coach's Show coming up at 6 o'clock. You can catch Mike Keith and whomever at 6 o'clock coming up. Kevin Byard has released a statement. We will read that for you next. Stay tuned. More of your reaction, 615. We do have a couple of lines open, 615-737-1045. I want to tell you about my friends at Maryland Farms Wine and Spirits. Maybe you're upset about the Kevin Byard trade, and you need to, I don't know, have a drink or two tonight. You can. Maryland Farms Wine and Spirits, of course, drink responsibly, but these guys will help you out, whether you're stocking your bar, getting ready for the baseball playoffs and football weekend. All those things are coming up. Some sooner rather than later. But you can get stocked up. Maryland Farms Wine and Spirits, 101 Creekside Crossing in Brentwood by the Publix. It's really easy to get in and out of there off Old Hickory Boulevard. Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. until 9 p.m. They are closed on Sundays. They have a delivery system through the Maryland Farms Wine and Spirits app, so get that downloaded where you get your apps. They have curbside pickup as well. Maryland Farms Wine and Spirits, locally owned and serving Middle Tennessee and Brentwood for more than 17 years. Every Wednesday is Senior Day, so come in and take in some special discounts in that senior group on Wednesdays. Every day they honor the military discount, case discounts every day as well. Football season in full swing, which means game day cocktails from Maryland Farms Wine and Spirits. You can stock up with your favorite bourbon, tequila, or whatever, and have them help you craft something special for game day. They love coming up with game day recipes or party recipes. Just ask them at the counter. Jason and his crew will be ready to help you. Maryland Farms Wine and Spirits, 101 Creekside Crossing in Brentwood. Online, MarylandFarmsWS.com.
What's happening, good people? You're caught right there in the middle because fall has arrived. That means in the morning and late at night is really cold, but in the afternoon and late afternoon, it's kind of warm, Babs. You don't really know what to do. You're stuck between a sweater and t-shirt and
Well, maybe you have one of those fancy little units that your air hits at one point and then your heat hits at the other. Yeah, and maybe you realize that when your heat's supposed to hit, it's not working.
Oh.
At least you found out now, and you can call Spring Hill Heating and Cooling because they're the heating and cooling company that can take care of all of your HVAC needs, and you don't want to be the one that has the issue with your HVAC right when the cold temperatures hit and stay. So call Spring Hill Heating and Cooling. SpringHillAC.com is the website. And I'll tell you this, they're awesome. You schedule an appointment, they're going to come right out.
Absolutely. They're going to come out every time, and they always backed by 10-year parts and labor warranties. So dive into them. It's SpringHillAC.com.
Call them.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. Sorry. Hunk just alerted me in my ear. This is us this time. 615-737-1045. My bad. Operator error. You're invited to join us as 3HL broadcasts live from Mims Lumber's Customer Appreciation Event on Wednesday. We'll be at Mims Lumber to celebrate 25 years with free food and giveaways. To learn more information, visit 1045thezone.com/events today.
Events.
We've got 3 things going on: Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Actually, technically, we are on the road starting on Wednesday for 5 straight shows.
Is that true?
Yes, because Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we are on the road. And then next Monday, we are in Bowling Green, Kentucky. And then the Tuesday right after that is Halloween. And that is when we will be out in Smyrna for B-Dubs.
On a Tuesday.
Because the Titans play on Thursday.
How about that?
Oh, well, we miss you, studio.
Take a picture.
It'll last longer.
Won't be in here.
How about Bowling Green, man? South Central Kentucky. Reese and Laura better show up. I know that.
We rolling.
They can bring their portable pool.
Who's
driving? Show up in an Uber.
Who's driving? Yeah, that's a good question. 615-737-1045. The news of the day, Kevin Byard has been traded to the Philadelphia Eagles. 5th and 6th round pick, Terrell Edmunds, a safety, coming over in that deal. 615-737-1045. Big Savagery, Ramone Foster will join us at 5 o'clock to give his initial take on this deal. All right, phone lines are loaded. We appreciate y'all. Jared and Mount Juliet. Jared, what's up?
How's it going, guys?
Hey.
Hey, so just real quick, fun fact, you could put the 3 of you together and add Mike Keith, and I've lost more money at the Evansville Casino than all of you. So they used to love. I used to travel up there on business, and they'd love to see me walk in the door. But 2015, my beloved Atlanta Braves traded a guy from my hometown away, Craig Kimbrell, who was an absolute flamethrower.
Yep.
I remember Chipper Jones chimed in, and he said, "Hey, I know it sucks, but if you're going to rebuild, rebuild." 5 or 6 years later, they won the World Series. Byard would have, out of everybody, I think Byard would have been my pick to trade because, you know, there is value there. We're in the bottom third of the league when it comes to passing yards. So, you know, how much are we really going to drop with the on-field results? Where I'm disappointed is what they got. You know, if you look at it, you could almost argue that this is going to be a 6th and a 7th and not a 5th and a 6th because the Eagles are probably going to, what are we going to draft, 31, 32? So I would have liked to see a little bit better draft value than that. I would think about Hopkins because let's be honest, who's going to throw him the ball right now? How hurt is Tannehill? He probably has more value than another player. But if you're going to do it, let's do it. And the last thing I'll say is there is no way unless I feel like he's got to prove he's going to be on this roster next year. And I haven't seen enough out of him that I put Will Levis in behind this offensive line. I just wouldn't do it. If he is your future guy, I'm going to let him sit it out this year and just ride it out with Willis. But my thought is if we're going to rebuild, let's rebuild. And I appreciate you guys taking my call.
It's a tough place to be, right? Like choose the guy that you want to get battered behind the offensive line. That's where a lot of people are. Nah, you got to see Willis, man. Excuse me, Will Levis. And, you know,
I was going to say Willis
Levis.
It
Willis
kind of
Levis.
goes together, doesn't
Yeah, put
it?
them both back there. Put them
Dude,
both back
if
there.
you
Let's
could
see.
combine those two, man, that'd be a hell of a quarterback.
The problem is, based on what he said was right. Like, how do you grade him? You know what I mean? Like with Malik, you kind of understand after 10 games of what he is, and that's kind of what he is. I don't know. Maybe you can't grade Malik either. I don't know. But I do. Don't y'all want to see Will Levis and see what he's got?
I believe so.
1,000%.
Yep.
All right. Thank you, Babsy.
I think I'm there.
Thank you, Slay.
Please.
There you are. Here you go.
Oh, brick. Brick hands.
That was a bad pass.
No, don't give excuses for me. I either catch it or I don't.
Brick hands.
Good job, yo.
He threw a brick at me. I missed it.
Yeah, caught it like a brick.
I'm glad it wasn't a real brick because things would have been damaged. But anyway, 5 o'clock hour coming up. We'll get.
No.
Huh? What?
What about reading Kevin Byard's
Thank you.
message?
Good point.
Oh, yeah.
Good point, Slay. Who would like to do the honors?
Oh, I got it pulled up.
Go for it.
Y'all want me to give it to you?
Yes.
Get the people what they want. Here they go.
How do
No, stop.
I'm not doing it with that.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Hit the wrong button.
Before I start this next chapter,
Wait, this is Byard's
This is
statement.
Kevin Byard's statement.
Okay.
Y'all set it up. Y'all the one got to set it up.
I know. You just
told me
started
to read.
rolling like you were making a statement.
That's what the teleprompter say. You don't say, hey, this is a statement from. Before I start this new chapter, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude for my journey so far. I want to thank John Robinson for drafting me and believing in me, and Amy Adams Strunk for her unwavering dedication to our team. I was fortunate to have two incredible head coaches in Mike Mularkey and Mike Vrabel. Their leadership helped shape the player and person I am today, and I'll carry those lessons throughout my career. Thank you to my assistant coaches, strength staff, doctors, trainers, support staff, Titans employees, cafeteria workers, custodians, media, and everyone who has helped me along the way. I see y'all putting in work every day, and we couldn't do this without you. I'm grateful for all of my teammates, my brothers, who had my back, kept me in check, and pushed me to be better. It's been an honor to play alongside you these 7+ years, but the most special thanks go out to Titans fans. You embrace my family and me with open arms from day one, and it is a blessing to be a part of this community. The energy and passion you bring to every game is unmatched. Middle Tennessee truly became our home, and it always will be. It was a dream come true to be a Tennessee Titan. Love, KB.
Love it. Absolutely love it. More of your reaction in the 5 o'clock hour when we come back. Ramone Foster, his take on Kevin Byard being traded from the Titans to the Eagles next on 3HL.
All right, you're looking to buy a new home and maybe you need some cash out now instead of having to wait for your current house to sell. Well, you don't want to get ripped off by one of those, we'll buy your house people. Nah, call Loan Pronto instead. You know why? They have this awesome Dream Home Bridge loan going on, so you can tap into your equity in your home, get the cash out you need, make that clean offer on the new home, and you have the cash to cover the down payment so you don't lose your house. Whenever your current house sells, then there you go. Bridge loan completely disappears. So don't put off your dream and let Loan Pronto help you leverage your equity so you can get the cash you need to make a solid and clean offer on that beautiful home that you won't lose to somebody else who has the cash to do it. 615-499-5780, loanpronto.com. Again, the phone number 615-499-5780. Love Loan Pronto. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. Subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
What is happening, good people? Man, you out here thinking about how you get rid of all this inflammation. Like, yeah, every day, man, you're a bricklayer. You out there driving the school bus. You may be out there delivering mail as a postal worker. But if that's the case, you got the inflammation, I got an opportunity for you. Yeah, KellumStemCellInstitute.com. Get it all. I said copy. KellumStemCellInstitute.com. I couldn't just roll through that, y'all. You need to hit them up, man. Find out exactly what they can do for you. Get your consultation today at 615-850-4415. This is real simple, man. Getting rid of congestive heart failure, lung issues, asthma, arthritis. The list goes on and on. You'll be surprised what your body and your stem cells can do for your own body. Yeah, that's right. Not pumping any medication into you or anything fake. None of that. This is your cells, your body, so it's your solution. Take it to bull by the horns and get out there and get to it. 615-850-4415. I stand beside this because I did it. KellumStemCellInstitute.com.
Good evening from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Joe Honk. The major news here in Nashville is that the Tennessee Titans have traded all-pro defensive back Kevin Byard to the Philadelphia Eagles. In return, the Titans are receiving 2 draft picks from next year's draft, a 5th-rounder and a 6th-rounder. They're also receiving safety Terrell Edmunds, who's already started 2 games for the Eagles this season, and he spent the last 5 years with the Pittsburgh Steelers. As the roster is constructed right now, according to Spot Track. The Titans are second in cap space availability for the 2024 offseason with $80.3 million available. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans and home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
HL 104.5 The Zone. Busy day in the Music City. The Titans have traded Kevin Byard. We'll get to that in just a second. Don Davenport is here.
Let's go. Happy Monday. I just got in the break. Do I need to say something profound?
It's
all going to be okay, Titans fans.
That is very profound.
You, Aaron Rodgers.
Ron Slay is here.
I'm in the building. I'm in the building. Hey, I'm in the building. 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 I'm in the building.
Guess who else is here?
Who's there, y'all?
Your brother. And for those that ask us,
Ramone. You know.
he is your brother.
Say my name. Ramone.
What?
Say my name. I don't have a damn clue who the hell you are.
Savage.
Do you respect the bad guy? Ramone.
Ramone.
You guys survived your trip to Tuscaloosa, I see. That's good.
We did. It was tight.
How was it?
Cool. It was a good experience. You know what I'm saying? Savage, what you think? Was it a good trip?
It was a good trip, man. I also saw a bunch of Bama fans start to sweat, too. But, of course, we didn't close the deal, so, hey, we're still the Vols that lost to Bama. So I deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
It was only one dude that was that guy. It was only one.
Slay told us
we
about
handled that appropriately. We handled that appropriately because he was about to incite something that he wasn't ready for.
Yeah.
Just because his team was winning. And I was okay with him getting a little louder, but his method wasn't great.
Sometimes you have to put a player on IR to protect him from himself. Is that what y'all did?
Yeah, we did. And his old lady was getting a little nervous too, and that's when I was just like, "Bro, think about her.
Yeah,
this you don't want to do this one today. I swear. We've been good the whole game.
Yeah.
We can all have fun no matter what's going on, right?
Yes.
Why does it got to get personal? Yes, I always say that about unruly fans. Like, neither you nor I have anything to do with what's happening on that field.
Well, we should have knew something too, Savage, because he started off by looking up at us. He was like, "Oh, I can't talk, bleak to y'all today."
I told them that. We should have known right there from the get-go. Exactly.
Yeah.
They prefaced this whole situation.
And he was one of those unhinged guys that no matter what, he was going to be right. So there was only one result that would have shut him up, and Savage and I wasn't ready to do that because we had already been too visible to everybody.
Yeah.
We already had
they knew exactly where we were sitting at, too.
There was only one way for that to end to him, and we had a good time. There was no reason for us to mess that up because of one dude. And there was literally
one person.
Yeah, I was telling Slay Dog before he went down there, I was like, that fan base is really cool, actually, Alabama's fan base. So I'm glad you had a good time. Sorry about the one guy, but, here's what I always say to that. Look, you only had to deal with him for like 3.5 hours. He and the people around him have to deal with him his whole life.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what's crazy is that the guy that I was sitting with is a season ticket holder also at Alabama, and he was just like, yeah, we don't really like that guy, and we moved away from here because of people like him. I was like, dang.
Yep.
That's Bama on Bama right there.
There it is. Ramone Foster with RK Dub in the morning, 6 to 10 weekdays on 104.5 The Zone. All right, let's get your take on this. Kevin Byard, for those just tuning in, has been traded or will be traded, reportedly, to the Philadelphia Eagles. He has released a statement thanking many people, including Titans fans. Terrell Edmunds comes over from, Philly, but also 5 years in Pittsburgh. And 5th and 6th round draft pick. What's your overall take on this trade? And then we'll get into Terrell Edmunds and what you know about him.
Overall take on the trade, something had to happen. You don't have enough capital for next year. You have an expiring contract. Well, one that you want to get off the books. You also look at his situation and say, we'd rather get something instead of nothing, because I heard you guys talking about it earlier too, Mayor. You made him take a pay cut get started this year. New GM coming in. I tell, I think I said it this morning, man, we all love and enjoy the game, the sport of football. But when you get to that highest level, there is still a business behind it.
Yep.
And this is strictly business. The only thing you can say to the Titans and to Byard and to the front office is this. You got the best out of Kevin Byard as far as we know. He was always the consummate pro, and they sent him to a team that's winning right now. Everybody should be happy about this, although it sucks that you lose a guy like Kevin Byard. It makes sense. See you next time. My bad. I'm getting something installed at the house, man. Shout out to Heller, man. What's your name again? Tell me. Johnny is over here taking care of me, y'all.
What up, Johnny?
My bad.
Johnny, get
They
it
said,
done.
Appreciate it, Johnny.
I love it.
You too.
Look at my boy, man, just getting work done.
Okay, so what do you know about Terrell Edmunds? Spent 5 years in Pittsburgh before going over to Philly. Started a lot of games in the NFL.
He is a dog. I'm gonna throw that out there first. He's not Kevin Byard, so let's go ahead and get that out the way right now.
Not a lot of players aren't, right?
No, exactly. And he's a safety that's going to come in, and if he does what his specialty, I think, is, and that this team won't out of him, he's going to be able to stop the run. I don't know if y'all have ever seen Terrell Edmunds in person, but he's about 6'2", 6'3". He looks like a linebacker, and I think that's what this team is going to be expecting him to play. Again, you're playing in a run-heavy AFC South, and not just run-heavy AFC South. The entire AFC has bodies that's capable of moving the ball on you, and that's what this team's kind of struggle with when you look at the last game and keeping the line of scrimmage where it is. He's on a prove-it deal, if I'm not mistaken, himself, so no matter what, you get him off the books. Terrell's going to be a go-harder. He's an NFL legacy guy. Him and his other two brothers are in the NFL also. He understands the game. Here's the thing. Coverage ain't his biggest strong suit. He's a great complement to the strong safety, a free safety. At times, that's the role I saw him play with Minka. He understands his role, and the plays that come his way, he will make them. In the coverage, he has his deficiencies, but he's smart enough now that he's learned to cover those things up. He's made plays for Philly this year. He made plenty of plays for Pittsburgh, but Mike Keith said it earlier with you guys. That safety position is a lot like the running back position. You can always find one. And just what happens for the Titans, you got one that's way cheaper than what Kevin Byard is.
That makes sense right there. Moving past that, like, what do you've been a part of this when guys leave? Babsy posed the question to me. I didn't get to answer it yet, but you want to pose it to him, Babsy?
Yeah, sure. Like, when you're in a team, and you might have more experience with this, Ramone, just because the roster is bigger on a football team as opposed to a basketball team. But when your team that you're on starts dealing star players like this, the guy who's the leader in the locker room, everybody loves him in this community, obviously a big piece of your leadership team in the locker room. What does that do mentally to a team and to a locker room when your franchise deals a guy like that?
Reality, Babs. It's just that simple. Reality sets in that, one, we're all expendable when it comes down to how we go about this business, how we play this game. And it also, for the guys who will be here, Big Jeff, Amani Hooker, other guys that's going to be around, if I was him, I would tell those guys, if we don't start winning, it ain't just him that's going to move. It's going to be all of us. Byard was one of the most pivotal pieces of this new era of Tennessee Titans that we've seen in a very long time. And if you think you're too important or you can't work hard enough to help us win games, because Big Jeff challenged everybody behind that last week, right, going into the bye. Who wants to be a Titan? He asked that question. And for them to deal Kevin Byard, and you got a new GM, look, it ain't promised that, especially young guys, that you're going to be on the team next year. So because of that, then we got to find ways to win. And if not, you can just leave. That's what Big Jeff told everybody. If you don't want to be here, leave. And that's what it does, Bab. I'm not out because there's so many games left to be played in this season. I'm not out because this team has always been resilient. They are a team that's had some bad breaks. They are a team that's lost to some teams they shouldn't have, and they're a team that's capable of turning this thing around if they take this wake-up call and roll with it.
Ramone Foster with us on 3HL. All right, let's talk about this Falcons game. Falcons have won 2 out of 3. They just beat the Buccaneers on the road. That was their first road win, actually. And they come in here. Art Smith comes in here against his former franchise. They're only a 1-point favorite. What do you think about this game? What do you think about this matchup?
Control your emotions and enjoy what the weekend is. This is the Love You Blue weekend, the throwback weekend. A lot of teams in the NFL have been doing these type things all for the last couple of weeks. Giants had on their throwbacks. You had
Eagles
Tampa
last
had
night.
on theirs.
Oh,
Eagles last night.
So sweet.
God, it was sweet, right?
Yes.
Don't make this a us versus Arthur game. You got to go out there and beat Bijan Robinson. You got to go out there and play against that team that has good enough playmakers that you can't allow us to shine. It's simply put, make Bijan Robinson obsolete because he only had, I think, 6 plays and maybe 2 carries or something like that over the course of that game.
1 carry,
and you guys know this. What happens whenever the premier player don't perform well?
Yeah.
They usually follow it up with a monster performance, do they not?
Mm-hmm.
Stop Bijan Robinson. That's what you have to do. And also this team got to find ways to score points. That's going to be so crucial.
Bluetooth.
The starting left tackle, my bad, guys.
No, you're good.
Who's going to end up being the starting left tackle? Yeah, I'm moving around a lot, y'all. Left tackle, has that been settled? Quarterback, right?
Yeah.
Who's the guy moving forward? There's a lot of questions that have to be answered. So focus on you guys this week and stop has in front of them this week with Arthur Smith coming into town for a Love You Blue celebration.
Don't you want to see Will Levis?
Do I want to see Will Levis?
Say it again. What'd you say, Drury?
I said, do you want my real answer, Bazzi?
Yes.
Yes, I want to see Will Levis.
There you go.
If Tannehill isn't out there, because he is your franchise quarterback, like it or not, give me Will Levis, because at this point right here, we've seen Malik, and I asked you guys last time, I think I was on, what progress did you see?
Yeah.
Right? Whether that was in-game, hey, go in and save the day, or whether that was him starting a game. Be real with yourself. Did it look the same? Yeah, it did.
Pretty much.
So, and that's just, again, y'all, that's the business, right? The game handles itself, but business eventually takes over. And if this doesn't go right, it wouldn't shock me if Byard was the only business decision that was just so happened to be made going into the trade deadline.
Yep.
It's weird, and I hate this for this franchise because guys want to win at the end of the day. And some stuff is just out of your control, man. I hope everybody wish Byard well, but that just sucks. I know it does for a lot of this fan base.
Love it, Savagery. Appreciate you. Again, 6 to 10 weekday mornings on 104.5 The Zone. Listen to Ramone Foster, RK Dub. Thank you, Ramone. Appreciate you.
No doubt.
All right.
Thanks,
there he is.
Savagery.
Ramone Foster. He's out there getting it done. He was talking about Desmond Ridder for the Atlanta Falcons. Interesting. And the wins, the 4 wins, completed 72.3% of his passes. In the losses, 58.6%. In the 4 wins, 1 interception. In the 3 losses, 5 interceptions. In the 4 wins, 21 carries, 86 yards, 3 touchdowns. In the 3 losses, 5 for 15, no scores. The Falcons sacked in wins 6, in their losses 14, and that's 4 games to 3. So there's some metrics here that you could see the Titans try to exploit. Turnovers in their wins in 4 games, 6. In their losses, just 3 games, 7. So they are dramatically different when they win and lose, which, people talk about a razor edge thin line between winning and losing. Not with the Falcons. We'll be right back. 3HL. More of your reaction. Kevin Byard has been traded. Also, Dawn's question to Slay: how does a trade like this affect a team? That's next. 3HL 104.5 The Zone.
Everything's changing fast. We talk a lot about that these days. And the good thing is internet coverage is changing. The Xfinity 10G network is the best. That means the fastest internet, faster speeds rolling out all the time. And it's also internet that can power a house full of devices all at once. The Xfinity 10G network with ultra low lag. So that means you can be doing a whole lot in your house all at the same time, especially now. Maybe some of you working from home, maybe the kids are home from school, or it's a fall break or something. It's okay because they can be streaming a movie in their room. Another can be playing video games in a different room. Another can be on social media or TikTok and whatever the kids do nowadays. It's the next generation 10G network only from Xfinity, and the future starts now. Now, as in now through November 15th, you new customers out there get 75 megabit internet on the next generation Xfinity 10G network for just $20 a month for 12 months with no annual contract. Xfinity.com/10G. Call 1-800-XFINITY or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Equipment taxes, fees extra after promo. Regular rates apply to internet service. Actual speeds vary.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. Ramone was talking about Bijan Robinson. He only had one carry in their win over Tampa Bay. I just pulled up a story. It came out an hour ago, Pro Football Talk. The NFL is going to follow up with the Falcons over failure to disclose Bijan Robinson's illness.
Uh-oh.
Come on, Art.
Bettors and fantasy football players were upset about it.
Happens.
It's clear from Robinson's comments that it was not a sudden illness. He said he was feeling weird on Saturday night, and then by Sunday morning, he was feeling completely out of it.
Well, wow.
So he carried the ball one time.
I don't know. I mean, I can see that happening.
Don't you have to disclose it, though?
If you
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do you if he
tried to play?
I mean, what if he didn't
I would
disclose
think
it?
if he's saying that he was feeling weird on Saturday night and by Sunday morning, before you disclose your final injuries.
Oh, you're saying on Sunday he needed?
Yeah,
they
like
needed
he's
to disclose
questionable or something.
it? I agree. Yeah. I
Yeah.
thought you were saying prior to that. I'm like, well, he could have kept it from the coaching staff until Sunday too. You know, you don't know.
Mess with in bed with the bettors, baby. It messes with the bets.
I mean, that's
You
why
better not mess with the bettors. They will come after you.
That's literally why the NFL did injury reports forever.
Yeah.
Like a long time ago was for the betting public.
Gotcha.
Falcons have
I'm
one.
waiting for it to happen in college now too.
Ooh, yeah,
Yeah,
You
because
know
they
it's
don't.
going to.
They don't want to give it, but
they hold off forever.
No, trust me, they don't because
They don't
coaches
at all.
We have to battle coaches as the broadcast team sometimes.
They're about
get
to
it.
have to do it. You are completely right about that. Falcons are in first place in the NFC South. Koo hit a game-winning 51-yard field goal as time expired. Ritter, 19 of 25, 250 through the air. No touchdowns, no interceptions. He was sacked once. 6 carries, 38 yards, and a touchdown. They've gone over 100 yards rushing as a team in 5 of their 7 games. But here's the thing, and I was talking about the dramatic difference between the Falcons' wins and losses and how they perform. In terms of running the football, in their 4 wins, they've run the ball for 141 yards per game. In their 3 losses, 92.
Wow.
I mean, it's rare that you see this dramatic of stats between wins and losses and consistent also. But those are some of the things that the Titans will certainly attack or try to.
Real quick before we go to the phone lines, I want to answer Babsy's question too.
Yeah,
about
so
what was it?
I got you. Also, if you just got in the car, Titans have traded Kevin Byard to the Philadelphia Eagles for a safety named Terrell Edmunds, who has played a lot of games in the NFL. What did I say earlier? 86 games?
Yeah. Yes.
And had 9 tackles, Mickey said yesterday, for the Eagles against the Miami Dolphins. Babs' question, Slay, how does it...
Hold on. That plus a 5th and 6th round pick.
Plus a 5th and 6th round pick, yes. How does a trade like this affect a team? That's Babs' question to Ron Slay.
Yeah, so, and for the players that are there, I think I wrote it down so I didn't forget, Babsy.
Go ahead.
You hate to see your brother leave, and I'm going to read it, y'all, so then I can
You
go.
prepared a statement.
Slay is like getting serious.
Slay's got a statement.
Guess what? Because I thought it was good, and I was like, man, I'm going to forget this. Like,
Yeah,
this was an hour and a half
because-
ago.
Like obviously I played at a high level.
Right.
But I didn't play in a sport where any day it's a business, right?
Right,
Back
yeah.
then it's not a business
Yep.
back in college back then, you know.
Right.
So
Yeah, and she
how does
asked-
it affect
She came up
a
with
team?
the question an hour and a half ago, and then I forgot to ask it because we went to Mike Keith.
No,
So-
that's
Yeah.
what we had
I
to
meant
go
to do it before we went to Mike Keith,
No,
but
okay.
I
we
failed
needed
to do
hear
that.
from
on me.
Bud.
Yeah.
That's definitely on me. But how does a trade like this affect a team, Ron Slay?
So I think it was it's different for pros, like Babsy just said, pros, and it's trickling down to the college game now because of
Yeah,
the way
'cause
the
of the
transfer
transfer
portal,
portal.
NILs, and all of that. So you would kind of be more prepared for it. But I think like Savage said, it's your welcome moment to professional sports when they start to trade guys and you lose guys and you start to be like, hey, man, that guy was a staple. He was a communicator. He was kind of the face of the franchise, and they just let him go, for whatever it may be, two picks and a replacement guy. So that was my thoughts. It's a little bit different, but you hate to see your brother leave, especially a voice in the locker room like Kevin Byard was. But at the same time, in pro sports and college as well, you want your opportunity to show what you can do. So for the guys behind them, you hate to see it happen, but as soon as you get over that initial reaction or the initial shock of it, you're automatically thinking, hey, man, Byard was paid handsomely, also was a all-pro, and all of that came because of opportunity that presented it. So the person behind you, they are pro too. And they're waiting on their opportunity for any moment, whether you get hurt, whether you get traded, your contract don't get extended. You want that opportunity. You hate to see your guy go, but that opens the door for you to go ahead and go in there and be that guy. I went through it at University of Tennessee. Like, Isaiah Victor was ahead of me, and I was all well and fine with coming off the bench because of that's my guy. Did I think I could start? Yes, without question. But that's my guy. That's who I'm in the trenches with. Hell yeah, give him his moment. You know
and
what I'm
in
saying?
that moment, you enjoyed that role also.
Yeah, I know I was going to thrive in it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When it became a starter, I thrived in that.
Yeah.
Then looking at it going to
Whatever's
the pro
in front
game,
of you, thrive.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
In the pro game, it was a little bit different. It was more so like I had a veteran in Randolph Childress I talk about all the time who showed me the ropes and let me know that this is a business and this is what they're looking to do. So you're always on the chopping block. You're always on the chopping block. So it happened to roll like that.
So what about a guy like I just raised my hand.
Yeah,
like,
that was good.
hold on.
Betsy. Yeah, that was good.
This is.
I feel like we're in class right now.
This is
You're
Davenport.
taking notes. I'm
This is
like,
Davenport.
yeah.
Blue shirt.
So what about for a guy like Big Jeff, who is
Yeah.
a leader with him? So that doesn't change
Mm-hmm.
his, because it's not an opportunity for Big Jeff. He's already
Yeah.
one of the dudes.
Right.
What about a guy like that on this roster, on that side of the ball? How does it affect a player like that within a team?
In season, I think it's a little bit more difficult because you got to hurry up and erase it. But going out of season, I think Big Jeff has an opportunity to now take on more responsibility. I think another great,
leadership.
more leadership. I think another great person to ask would be, because he walked through it, is Keith Bullock. When they had a turnover, he was one of the main ones that stepped up and was like, "Oh man, it's just me out here." You know what I mean? I got to be that voice. I got to be that guy. I got to be the one to show by the way I do things, that by example. So I think Big Jeff is a guy that's going to have to lead. You know what I'm saying? Especially at defense. You saw plenty of times in the pregame speeches, Kevin Byard would set the tone, and then he'll say, "Big Jeff, take us home." You know what I'm saying? So they were working in unison together. So, and they all knew what the Titans embodied and what they wanted to be. So I think it's more pressure on him. But I think also he's looking around the room. You heard his statement. I'm looking around the room saying, "Hey man, who want to be here? Who want to be a Titan? This is what it takes." All right, y'all. Here's a role. Somebody can step up and fill this void. Amani Hooker, who just got paid, you could step up. Elijah Molden, you can step up. Roger McCreary, like, it's plenty of people there that are young talent that can grow and evolve with Jeff and be like, "Hey man, I want a piece of that." So,
in terms of the players that we'll talk about as we roll through the week that could have an opportunity on Sunday, Elijah Molden, who had been injured, so hopefully he's back. Shaheem Carter and Matthew Jackson. Terrell Edmunds coming over from Philadelphia, spent 5 years in Pittsburgh. Ramone Foster, who was a longtime Steeler, told us, "I'll tell you this about Terrell Edmunds, he is a dog."
Yes.
He said,
That was
the
good to
cover,
hear.
not the cover skills that Kevin Byard has, but just in terms of personality and player, he is a dog.
Has some deficiencies in coverage. I was like,
Yep.
"Oh."
He gave you the shakes.
Oh, gosh.
But that's why a person like him can come in and thrive. First of all, he come from a football-minded family. All his brothers in the league.
Yep.
But then you
And
look
His
at it.
brothers are like big guys,
his
though,
dad's
right?
huge, and
Defensive
dad, too.
linemen, yeah.
So you look at it, that's why you put more ownership on guys up front. Hey, man, y'all got to get to the quarterback. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can hold down for a little bit back here, but hey, y'all. Or does it give another opportunity for a guy like Aziz to show his coverage skills? You know what I'm saying? And you bring Edmonds up, put him in the box, drop Aziz and cover. It's all kind of little schematic things you can do to try to cover it up. They know who they're getting. You know what I mean? So one thing that stops all of that, deficiencies are covered up by getting to that quarterback, playing in the backfield. And that's what the Titans have been built on. You just got to get back to that. That's the main thing. If we were, we wouldn't be 2-4.
Right.
His brothers Trey and Tremaine also played college football at Virginia Tech, as did he. He was a first-round pick in 2018, I think, out of Virginia Tech by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Trey and Tremaine also played in the NFL. Trey's a free agent that has played for the Saints and Steelers, while Tremaine plays for the Chicago Bears right now. Their father, Farrell Edmunds, also played in the NFL as a tight end. Farrell was a two-time Pro Bowler with the Miami Dolphins. Along with Tremaine, he was part of the first set of brothers to be drafted in the first round of the same NFL draft.
Oh, look at that.
That's dope.
That's pretty
Golly.
Phillies and D-backs. Arizona trying to force a Game 7. They are leading Philadelphia 3-1 as they go to the fifth inning of Texas and Houston. A Game 7 tonight, 7:03 on Fox. Max Scherzer against Christian Javier. Houston, 54% chance to win. We'll see.
And Houston will win if Scherzer's on the mound.
Christian Harvey it's arguably been their best pitcher also. So, Scherzer struggled. 11-point-something ERA in the postseason.
Yeah, he's got dead arm. He's had it for a few years. Literally, he can only go like 3 innings. He's an opener. He's
Dead
a bona fide
arm,
opener.
dang. Dead arm is like.
That's a tough break for a pitcher to have dead arm.
Yeah.
It's like me for bricks with hands trying to catch a brick from Slay. All right, your reaction, Kevin Byard traded. 615-737-1045. Dean is in New York. Dean, what's up? How are you?
Good. How about you?
Good, man. What you got?
I just don't think the Titans got enough value out of that trade.
Well, and I think that – thank you, Dean.
And that's a popular Titans fan take right now. You didn't get enough for him.
Yeah.
Didn't get enough.
But when you
value
look
for him.
at trades, like how often do you think that about a trade in the NFL? You think about that a lot.
Mhm.
And A to Z Sports did something on that, correct?
Yes, Austin Stanley. Well, that's part of it, and then I'll point something else out too after that. But Austin Stanley tweeted this: the Titans got the best value of any trade so far this season, and it included a player in return too. So Byard's the 7th player traded this season. A to Z Sports put this out. The 2024 5th and 6th round picks are the highest compensation of any trade. And he's only the 2nd player to be moved for an actual 2024 pick. All the others were 2025 picks and beyond.
Mm-hmm.
And that was something that was important to the Titans because they only had 6 picks
They lacked.
coming up.
Yep.
Now, the other thing I'll point out is the spot track numbers, contract numbers. So when you talk about value for a trade, you cannot forget that Kevin Byard is 30 years old. He'll be 31 next year. His cap hit next year in 2024, $19.6 million.
Yeah.
Dead cap, 13.4.
Right.
So you have to also look at the fact that the Titans are not only doing this for, draft picks. So when you look at value, there is also value in this for the Titans to get younger, A, and B, to clear some money off the books for next year. And right now they've got $80 million if this all goes through and whatever the numbers are, but it's like $80 million cap space next year.
Yeah, it puts them number 2 next year.
I mean, that's a
in
lot
cap space,
to work with. And so there's value in the trade for the Titans. My thought for Ran Carthon in clearing the books for next year as well.
Well done, Babsy. 615-737-1045. More of your reaction when we come back. Kevin Byard traded to the Eagles. 3HL 1045 The Zone.
What's happening, good people? Let me let you in on a little secret. In case you haven't been outside, winter is about to approach very soon. You can feel it when you get up in the morning. Also, if you're out late at night, out there on the porch like me, lighting the fire, you can feel it, man. It's a little cold, a little nippy out there. I'm telling you.
Nippy.
The fall, yes, nippy. The fall won't be here for long. Prepare for winter. When it's coming, you got to be ready because storms come, ice storms, especially here in Tennessee, knocks the power out, and you'll be sitting there in the dark. Unless
You have a generator from Cove Generators. And here's the deal about Cove Generators. They can perform service on any brand of generator that you own. They do it all. That is all they do is generators. Yeah. And here's the other thing about them. They're your premier Generac home standby generator dealer. So you can call them today. Be prepared for winter. They can perform maintenance on your Generac automatic standby generator or on any generator you own. Just visit CoveGenerators.com. Never lose power again. Call them at 931-559-3311. 931-559-3311 or visit them CoveGenerators.com.
stay connected through it all.
3HL 104.5, the Zone Monday edition. Coming up on Wednesday, we'll be at Mims Lumber. You need to check that out. They've got their customer appreciation event on Wednesday to help celebrate 25 years. They'll have free food and giveaways. To learn more, 1045thezone.com. Coming up on Thursday, join 1045 The Zone's 3HL this Thursday at Buffalo Wild Wings in Hendersonville.
That's right.
Our next Titans football feast. Stop by for your chance to win Titans tickets and giveaways each hour thanks to Miller Lite and Buffalo Wild Wings. Again, the full schedule of where we will be and when. 1045thezone.com/TFF. I will tell you, on Friday, we will be at Scoreboard Bar and Grill at Opryland this Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, Wednesday, Mims Lumber. Thursday, Buffalo Wild Wings, Hendersonville. Scoreboard on Friday at Opryland. All of this information you will find 1045thezone.com/TFF. Big news of the day, Kevin Byard traded by the Tennessee Titans for a safety, Terrell Edmunds, Philadelphia Eagles, and a 5th and 6th round pick. 615-737-1045. Is this it, or is this a signal that there may be at least one other big move that will affect people and their emotions in this market?
Don't know.
Is there enough value in another
That's
move?
the question.
Yeah, and do you just take it to get done? Because, look, if you let Derrick Henry go to the end of the season, you don't get anything for him.
Right.
Now, that still may be the smart play if what you can get for him is a 5th round pick. I don't know. Can you get a 4th?
That's the question.
615-737-1045. Brandon is in Lebanon. Brandon, what's up?
Hey guys, I got a few things. So, if I remember, Rand Carthon said, before he got the job, that he didn't think the Titans had to be in a rebuild mode, and this may not be a rebuild.
He'll argue that it's not. I promise.
Yeah, because you
Okay.
don't ever admit it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think that, I'm reading a tweet right now that says, Eagles GM Howie Roseman fleeced the Titans on Monday for safety Kevin Byard. We got, Marcus Mariota and A.J. Brown and now Kevin Byard going to the Philadelphia Eagles, and they're probably going to win a Super Bowl. So
I don't think you include Marcus Mariota in those
Yeah,
two.
you're right.
I'm just saying. you can
You're
include.
right.
Too far, Brandon.
Yeah, you went too far, Brandon. Yes, AJ Brown. Yes, Kevin Byard. Sorry, go ahead.
All right. And, our secondary is already, questionable, but we're getting rid of our star, our face of the franchise almost pretty much for, another safety that is good at stopping the run. And the last time we did that, I remember Jonathan Cyprian, but,
Yeah, Sip.
I just feel like they should have got at least like a 3rd round pick or something. I don't know. I just don't feel comfortable with it, but that's all I got.
Thanks, Brandon. But I point out again, there's more to it than just what you got.
Right.
There's a lot more to it than just
I mean,
that 5th
you
and
literally
6th and a
just
player.
went through all of the business aspects
Mhm.
of this move.
The business. And here's the deal. When we talked to Mike Keith, who was, said it's not official yet, but he pointed out too the flexibility that then you have if you're the Titans with not having Kevin Byard's contract on the books.
Right.
Because, and that's what I was pointing out, if you look at Spot Track and you see what and this is a 31-year-old safety, 19.6 million cap hit, 13.4 million dead cap hit with Kevin Byard. So that's for 2024, right? So, and that takes nothing into account for what you saved this year, right? And we don't know the details of the trade. We don't know any of that yet. But when you take into account the 2024, which also included a $4 million roster bonus, right? Not a big deal, but I love how we're like, $4 million, no big deal.
Well, I mean, the greatest scheme of things in that world.
We live in a different world. But you do all of that. And like Mike Keith pointed out, now you have the flexibility. It doesn't tie them to this long-term contract where you have so much money invested in the safety position. And now Rand Carthon can build his team how he wants to build his team. So when we talk about value for that trade, there's a lot more to it than just a 5th and 6th pick and a player.
There you go.
I mean, you are literally going to, if you want to, go through that every segment entire week.
Yeah.
Because everybody's going to say, the quick reaction, and then you're going to have this, from a business perspective thing.
That to be a breakdown.
Yeah, but
I think actually we'll need you to record it and be as concise as possible, and then just let Joe play it. Who's Joe? Let Hunk play it ever so often.
There you go.
Do you have something to give away? The coaches show is coming up. I don't want to get in the way of Mike Keith and the boys.
I do. I'm going to give away Preds tickets, but I'll give you the cue to call at the very end of the show as we're going off air because our lines are loaded because people want to talk about this.
Yeah.
So, but I'm giving away Preds tickets for tomorrow night's game.
No, do it now. We're going to have too much to do in 2 minutes. We're out in 2 minutes.
I got to give a shout out. Rest in peace to the Lady Vols. Lost a sincere piece of national championships and everything going on. Tasha Butts, she passed from breast cancer. Yeah, man.
I didn't know that.
Right on the heels of Nikki McCray passing.
She's too young.
This summer, 41 years old, man.
Man.
Crazy. Just took the job at Georgetown as the women's basketball coach, so I had to step away from that. So she passed this morning, man. Thoughts and prayers to her family. Condolences. Lost a sister. Man, that was the same class. She came in a year behind me, so wanted to throw that out there, man, for Vol Nation.
Okay.
And Lady Vols in specifically.
For sure. Rest in peace. Man, I didn't know that. For those that we didn't get to, we're going to have all week.
Sorry.
I mean, this is going to be a common thread this week. Kevin Byard traded to the Eagles. What do you got?
I'm going to give away Preds tickets for tomorrow night's game against the Vancouver Canucks in Smashville. 615-737-1045. Caller number 5. Right now you win 2 tickets to see the Preds take on the Canucks tomorrow night. And it is the 25th anniversary season, 25 years of Smashville. If you don't win these tickets and you want to go, NashvillePredators.com/tickets. Good luck to you. Go ahead and call now.
Mike Vrabel's show is coming up, hosted by Mike Keith. One quick note, the coach won't be involved.
It's on the bye week.
But the voice of reason will be Mike Keith.
I will say this, though. Yes, that's true. Listen to The Zone all day tomorrow for reaction. The head coach will address the media at 11 a.m.
Rip the knob off.
She learned that from me a long time
I
ago.
did.
All right, good night. God bless. Appreciate y'all.
See ya.
Wouldn't want to be you.
No, 3HL Afterparty is still brought to you by Wake 180.